I don't know anything that's been said or reported. So apart from one thing, which of course is the Bray Wyatt segment. So hopefully we can keep things that way. But I always expect these things to get spoiled at some point, in all fairness. But either way, we should have a pretty fun show tonight. I genuinely do not know what is going to be happening. I know the matches, or some of the matches. I've seen the preview that's gone out. So we've got Usos taking on Hit Row. Hopefully we can get another Top Dollar moment. I think that's what we're all hoping for. If Top Dollar was in a giving mood, he would give us another botch on the level of last week's botch every week. Especially this week, considering it's just a couple of days before Christmas. So I don't know if you're watching Top Dollar, but, well, it's too late now because it's a pre-recorded show, but hopefully you've done it anyway. But yeah, that was amazing last week. Loved it. So Usos against Hit Row, Botch Row. Then we've got lots of women. I think there's 6 women, too many women for me to sit here and name. But we've got all the women in a gauntlet match. 6 women in a gauntlet match. Winner faces Ronda Rousey. Not tonight. No. In the future. I don't actually know if that's going to be next week's show, because next week's show is huge. Next Friday, which is not that far away. It's only a week. That's when we've got that amazing tag match. And we might even be getting Ronda versus the winner of tonight's gauntlet. So we've got a number 1 contenders gauntlet match tonight as well. As well as that, we've also got a Bray Wyatt segment, which has been widely reported. We know what's going down there. I do still expect a backstage moment, though. I do still expect something to play out backstage. I do still expect it to be a case that we are going to get like a Uncle Howdy interruption or something that hasn't been reported. So I definitely keeping an eye out for that. And I feel like there's one more match that I'm definitely forgetting. Oh, that's it. The Miracle on 34th Street fight. We've got a Miracle on 34th Street fight, which is pretty standard for these Christmas shows. We might even get someone dressed as Santa at some point as well. That tends to be what we get on these Christmas shows. So, yeah, as I said, kind of looking forward to it. Obviously, this is our last proper stream before Christmas, but we are doing another stream tomorrow. You can see at the bottom of the screen, WrestleMania 18 watch along tomorrow. There's no UFC tomorrow. There's no boxing tomorrow. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. There is nothing that's happening. So we've got this space, this gap, this void that needs to be filled. And so WrestleMania 18 just seems to have shown itself. WrestleMania 18, I think, was suggested by the chat, and I really like that idea because it's a WrestleMania, big time, yeah, and sort of feel like tomorrow deserves to be big time. So I like the fact it's a WrestleMania. It's a WrestleMania I don't believe we've done, because we've done a lot of watch-alongs, old watch-alongs already. So it's a WrestleMania. It's a WrestleMania I don't think we've done, and Rock versus Hogan. I mean, one of the biggest matches in WrestleMania history. You really can't go wrong with that. I mean, like, honestly, I can't quite remember everything that happens at that WrestleMania because I haven't seen it probably since that WrestleMania. It's one that I've not gone back to, but that makes me excited about it as well, is I haven't seen it in so long that I'm looking forward to sitting down and watching that. So we're going to watch that on the network. We'll do the watch along for that tomorrow. If you are around, swing by, share your thoughts on the show. Should be a lot of fun. So we're actually doing that tomorrow night. And then, of course, nothing on Christmas Day. It's Sunday. We don't tend to do anything on a Sunday anyway. Christmas Day, spend it with your loved ones. And then we're back on Monday for the best of Raw. So that's the plan for this Christmas weekend. David Walker says, Merry Christmas days. Have a good one. Shout out to you, David. Appreciate the support. Yeah, I hope all of you, including David, of course, have a fantastic Christmas. I have said as well, and it is worth just chucking it out there, that if you take a picture of what you get on Christmas Day, or like do a little video of what you've had, or a picture of maybe what you've had for Christmas lunch, or anything that you want to share from your Christmas. Be it Christmas morning and the presents, be it like what you have for dinner, be it, I don't know, what you did in the afternoon, like whatever it is you want to share about your Christmas experience, feel free to send a video or images over to wrestlingdays@gmail.com. What we're going to do is the Wrestling Escape Pod. That's the weekly podcast that I do with Tommy Toy Travels. We're going to actually do an episode based on what you lot send in. That is recorded on Tuesday, so you've got a bit of time. It's not like, oh my God, you've got to send it on Christmas Day. It gets recorded on Tuesday, and it will go up on Wednesday. So we will just go through whatever gets sent, and you guys are really good at sending in like community submissions and things. We don't normally talk about this on these watch-alongs as well, so maybe we can get even more people involved. But that should be fun. That should be a lot of fun, looking and seeing what people got. Obviously, I would be expecting a bit of wrestling stuff to be in there. But if you haven't had any wrestling stuff, don't worry about it. It's a pretty relaxed podcast. It's not like it has to be wrestling, otherwise we're not interested. Far from it. We'll talk about anything and everything. It's quite loose and chilled and a lot of fun. So, yeah, feel free to send it over, and it will likely feature in the Wrestling Escape Pod, which goes up, as we said, on its own channel on Wednesday. So, David, appreciate the support, my friends. Make sure you and your family have a fantastic Christmas. See everyone jumping in, wishing everyone happy Christmas as well. Days, I'm sorry you're not allowed to be a fan of Hit Row, only because Top Dollar did what he did. You cussed him for far too long. I mean, I don't think I've ever cussed him, to be honest, but I find Hit Row to be cringe. I think that if we embrace that cringe, rather than trying to make them an actual hip-hop group and an actual credible team, if we actually look at them as like slapstick comedy instead, maybe we can get some out of it. Maybe if they are just going to like fall over on their way like down to the ring, and they're going to be like Laurel and Hardy, they're going to do like Mr. Bean stuff, like maybe I can then get on board. Maybe this is the reinvention that Hit Row have always needed, but we just never knew they needed. But trying to take them as a serious hip-hop faction has never landed with me. It's never worked with me. This, by far, is the most I have enjoyed Hit Row ever, is seeing Top Dollar try to get over the top rope and then fail. Apparently, he put a video out. I haven't seen this video, but apparently he put a video out, like, showing everyone that he could do the move. I'm told that even that video didn't look good. I'm told that he, like, totally, like, misses people. So he does get over the top, but the people he tries to hit on the outside, he actually, like, misses them. So even the video that he puts out trying to show that he can do the move apparently was a bit of a botch. I don't know how botched, but like apparently it's not like doesn't like totally go to plan, which is just brilliant. Imagine trying to defend a botch and show that you can do a move properly by showing a completely different botch. Like this is botchception. That's what we've got going on now. We've got botchception. So I am if this is a gimmick that someone could have had for a long time, someone that comes down, really tries their best, but just keeps botching moves and just like gets frustrated with themselves and then tries to prove they can do moves. But in actual fact, that's just another video of another botch. And they just keep, as long as it's safe, of course. We don't want people going in and botching and causing like horrific injuries. But if you just go in there and you just can't quite get it and you're like, oh, you just can't quite do it. I sort of feel like that's a gimmick that's been waiting for someone for a long time. And it's maybe that time now is for Top Dollar to take that gimmick. Perhaps Top Dollar has arrived to take that gimmick off the shelf and claim it as his own. So, yeah, I'm excited to see what Hit Row have got in store for us tonight, especially Top Dollar. Wrestling Jeebus, Merry Christmas, my friends. Hope you are well. Wrestling Jeebus said, Merry Christmas. Hope you and the family have a wonderful day And as always, keep up the incredible work. That's really kind, but I really appreciate the support. I actually had my Twitter account taken away from me. Not because I was naughty, but because Twitter thought that I was sharing links to actual wrestling shows. So rather than them being links to these watch-alongs, it thought that they were links to actual wrestling shows. And the process that you have to go through to lodge appeals is so cumbersome, and it's such a long process. And I lodged an appeal, and I got a response that said, thank you for your appeal. If you wish to continue with this, then please click here on lodge new appeal type thing. And I was like, hang on, haven't I already started the appeal? Why have I got to now click another thing to and it was like, forget this. I mean, it's one of those where I really think you just go round the houses, and I don't know if you ever actually get your account back or not. So I was like, forget this. So thankfully, I had a second account anyway. But I mean, it's nothing compared to the other one that we had. But hey ho, it is what it is. So yeah, Wrestling Jeebus, I sent him a request from my new account, if you will, the other day, because I wasn't actually following him. But he is someone that you should follow. Fantastic Twitter account, and certainly if you're looking for someone that's a bit more positive. But think the anti-me. Think of me, and then think of the complete opposite. That's Wrestling Jeebus. So, yeah, shout out to you, bud. Really appreciate the support, and I hope you have a fantastic Christmas as well. Rob said the Twitter thing is because they booted a lot of bots. They don't want to get spammed. They are trying to get Twitter back. Yeah, I got caught up in it. I think that's what it was. I got caught up in it. It even said at the top, no copyright content. Right? No copyright content. The link, if you click it, took you to one of these streams. It only takes someone to click that link and see that it doesn't take you to watch wrestling or something like this. But no. I mean, clearly it was a bot. It's clearly an algorithm. It's clearly some sort of software that just, I don't know. Must have been certain words it was looking for, like Smackdown watch along or Raw live stream or whatever. I don't know. And I got caught in it. So, yeah, annoying. But, lesson learned. It is what it is. And I'm certainly not alone. I know of other people that have had their accounts taken down for similar reasons. And, I mean, you only have to look at, the dumpster fire that Twitter has been since Elon took over. The whole verified account debacle and all this kind of stuff to see that things aren't quite working the way they should be. So, I've certainly not took it personally. But it is annoying. It is annoying. I think there was 12,000 people that were following the last account, and I managed to get to 1,000. So we're just 11,000 to go till we get back to where we was with Twitter. So it is what it is. Gives me something to work on in 2023. Because I've cracked YouTube, guys. That's sorted. That's solved. Yeah, we've done that tick. That's been completed. Now, at least I've got something to get my teeth into in 2023. Twisted Sky said they also sacked a lot of staff, which does make the appeal process harder. Yeah, I think this is it. There's one guy who sat there that's desperately trying to respond to all the emails he gets. Oh my God. Just constantly trying to fix. So no wonder he's put some obstacles in the way. I feel like I'm in one of those queues where you walk and then you have to turn around and go back on yourself and then turn around and go back on yourself. It's one of those. It's a virtual one of those where you're just constantly going back and forth. Maybe you are making progress, but it's so slow that, I mean, honestly, I just don't even know how long it would take to get to the front of the queue because there's just one poor man behind a desk just crying blood as he's trying to respond to all these people. So... Big Time Baxter said, do you think Cena, Kevin versus Roman Sami does a big number, maybe 2,325? Ticket sales are over 12,000. The announcement of Cena moved 5,000 tickets in 5 days, according to WrestleTix. I mean, I don't think 2.5. That would be a big number. I mean, I don't think it would do that. You see, the problem you've got is the time of year. It's December 30th. Like, what the flip does that mean? Like, this is not a normal time of year. I actually think that week between Christmas and January 1st, that has got to be the weirdest week of the year. It's got to be the weirdest week of the year. It sort of feels like it shouldn't exist in a way. It sort of feels like that's Christmas week, really. I can't be the only one that sees that week as being like weird. It's like you have Christmas Day. You don't want Christmas to end after Christmas Day, so it goes into Boxing Day. I totally understand that. But then there's a lot of people that will do like go and see family and things. Like I've actually got family coming over here on the 28th. So I have said this. I think it's next Wednesday. We can't do the AEW stream, unfortunately, because this house will be full of about 20 odd people, 30 people. Aunties, uncles, cousins, their kids, all coming over. Here, we normally go to the one side of the family, do Christmas, and then on the same day go over to the other side of the family and do a bit of Christmas, right? So you'll have a few nibbles, open presents, and then you go over to the other side of the family, a few nibbles, Christmas presents, see the cousins, see the kids, lovely, lovely, right? What we're doing this year is both sides of the family are coming here on the same day. So the 28th is like a big day. Like that is really Christmas. I won't see my dad on Christmas Day, but he is coming over on the 28th as well because he works away. So he's actually coming over on the 28th. So 28th is the day, really. So even for me, you've got Christmas Day, you'll have Boxing Day. Obviously, we're going to do Raw on the night of Boxing Day. Then you've got this weird week where it's sort of like kids aren't back at school. People that work in offices aren't back in offices. If you've got to work in retail, it's, if you're a seasonal colleague, you tend to still have a job in that week. Like some people might finish up at certain points in that week, but by and large, good chunk of people that do seasonal work are still employed. So it's still, everything's got that Christmassy feel still. You've got the sales starting. Christmas decorations, of course, are still up. And it's just like this really strange week. So, cut a long story short, what does that mean for the ratings on the 30th? Where people might be seeing family or planning like what they're doing on New Year's Eve, or I don't know, like are people in the mindset, are the casuals in the mindset of sitting down and tuning into SmackDown because John Cena's on? Like, I really don't know. I'm not saying that they won't. I'm just saying I genuinely don't know. December is so weird for ratings. Like, we've seen AEW Dynamite do 800 and some thousand. We've seen Raw do its lowest rating at 1.4. Like, I said it at the start of the month. December is rubbish for ratings. It's weird for ratings. You get some odd numbers coming through because it's just such a weird, odd time of the year. And I think that will carry over into the December 30th episode as well. So I don't know what it does. I certainly don't expect it to bomb. They've stacked it and they've made it a big card and the wrestling fans will tune in. What the casuals do, I have no idea. Could do a huge number because everyone's at home and people are off work and kids are off school, and it could do a huge number. It could do a poor number, relatively poor. I don't think it'll be 1-8 or anything like that, but it could do 2-1. Which I think people would see as a bit of a poor number because it usually does 2-2. But it might do 2-1 because I ain't got a clue what sports are on at the same time. I don't know what's going on in regards to families and where people are. So I certainly aren't looking at it thinking, oh my God, this is going to break numbers because this is such a weird time of the year. So weird. I really don't know. I genuinely don't know what it's going to do. I don't expect it to be 1 point something. I expect it to be in the twos. I would be very, very surprised if it came out at 2.5. Very surprised. I'm not expecting that. But does it do 2-1, 2-2, 2-3, 2-4? I genuinely don't know. James said, I'm down to 5 shows. I've got a AAA pay-per-view on Fight on the 28th. Oh, you could have paced yourself, mate. 5 shows. You'll do that in an hour. So you could have took your time. But yeah, shout out to you, James. Hope you're ready to have a great Christmas. It's 20 past midnight here in the UK, which now means that it is Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve. Can I tell you, I got really excited as well because last night I was doing a little bit of browsing. You know, sometimes the sales start a bit early, and I was just online doing a little bit of shopping and whatever, and I found on Amazon, right, James Bond box set. I say all the films. I think it's all the films up to the last one. It doesn't include the most recent one, but up to Spectre, which I think came out right? So that was the one after Skyfall. 22 films, James Bond box set on Amazon, £16. £16. £16. Less than an Elite figure. In fact, if you could find an Elite figure for that price, it's on sale, right? £16 for 22 of the Bond in a proper Bond box set. Proper James Bond box set. Take them out, 22 films. I mean, I ain't crazy about Bonds, right? If I was, I'd already own it. But I did have... Skyfall was on TV the other day, and I sat and I watched it, and I was like, oh, man, this is quite good, you know? And I was proper getting into it. And I think I've got some of the films, but I haven't got, like, the box set. But I do now. And £16 over the moon with that. That's a lovely little Christmas treat for myself. So I would imagine I'll probably end up watching a few of those on Christmas Day. Sit down and watch. It should be coming today. It was next day delivery because I got it from Amazon. And then I started to see if there was any other box sets that are like super cheap like that. And I was like, oh my God, £16 for 20. I mean, just £16 for 22 of any films is a bit of a bargain, you know? But the James Bond ones, very impressed. So, but I couldn't find any other deals as good. But keep your eyes peeled because there's some real bargains out there to be had. LS Dub says, hello all. I hope everyone is well. That's a bit disappointing, to be honest. That's a little disappointing from LS Dub. You would expect LS Dub to have put in a Merry Christmas in there. You would think that LS Dub would have chipped in with something festive. So I think to put in a message like that and to... I'm going to say waste it. To waste a message like that, considering it's the 24th of December, that's very disappointing. I hope you're well, LS Dub, and I wish you a very Merry Christmas, but you need to have a word with yourself for 2023. Storm's Magic, shout out to you. Hope you are well. Got a couple of sexy days emojis in the chat. Nice to see. Storm's Magic, shout out to you. Tanadian White Owl. Oh, that's nice. Hey, do you know what? I got a board game, right? Because I'm sort of into them because I'm a boomer. I got a board game which is all about birds. It's called Wingspan, and it's amazing, right? This game is amazing. I absolutely love it. You don't need to know anything about birds. But basically, you have to put birds onto this board, and the more birds you put down, the more kind of abilities you have, the more like things you can do. And the game kind of grows the longer you're playing it, and it's really interesting. And your name just reminded me of like probably one of the birds. It's got like 170 cards, and each card's got a different bird on it. I know this sounds super dull, but it is regarded as one of the most best innovative like board games in recent times. It's actually the #1 family board game on Board Game Geek, which is, you know, I'm a boomer. That's where I hang out now. That's where me and my friends go. We go to Board Game Geek, but it's the #1 family game on there, and it's amazing. Tanadian White Owl. I'll have to have a look. I'll have to get it down and see if I've got a Tanadian White Owl in my cards. I bet I do. Days, are you still doing Raw, the year review show? Absolutely. Yep. The only show I cannot do, and I mean, I don't even know if this is true, what I'm about to say, but it might be the only regular wrestling show we've not done this year, because we are here every Monday, every Tuesday, every Wednesday, Like, I know we did stop doing NXT for a while because of the football, but I don't think we've missed a Raw or a SmackDown. I did get COVID, but I can't even remember if that was this year or last year. And I can't even remember if that stopped me from doing a Raw or a SmackDown. But I think we've done them all this year. But either way, we just can't do Wednesday. Because of what I've said with the family coming around, I just can't do Wednesday. But no, we're here Monday night to do that year in review. We're even chucking in an extra wrestling stream tomorrow for WrestleMania 18. It's already set up. So you know what time it starts, what we're doing. It's on the channel. Swing by, say hello. That'll be our last stream before Christmas. So, Tanadian White Owl, shout out to you. We are doing that. Steve said, if you're hoping Cody wins the Rumble and The Rock gets his title shot another way, how would you go about booking the Elimination Chamber match? How would I go about booking the Elimination Chamber match? I would not have that involved. I would probably use the Elimination Chamber match for the women, and maybe I'd do it for a mid-card belt. I just wouldn't have anything to do with the titles, to be honest. I mean, look, if The Rock comes back and wants to face Roman for the title, there ain't no one that's stopping that from happening. Right? He does not need to win a Royal Rumble for the fans to be all right with The Rock having a title match. Like, he doesn't need it. I think once you get to a certain level of being a legend, and, you know, they sort of do this all the time with Goldberg, for example. Goldberg comes back and goes, "You're next," and then gets a title match. And that can annoy people because, to be honest, it's all well and good doing it once, maybe twice, but he's done it so many times now that you do sort of go, Jesus, God, do you know what I mean? Like, again. But I don't think people would feel that way about The Rock. Like, if The Rock came back and had a match with Roman and wanted to face Roman, I don't think he's doing that match for the title anyway. I mean, you put the title on the line, of course, because why not? But that, I wouldn't book that for the belts. Like, the belts would be on the line, but that's not the purpose of the match. It's all about family. He wants to show that the Anoa'i family are not these cruel, like, mean, heelish people. Like, they are a good family, and Roman is not representing them the right way, and so The Rock is here to set the record straight. I love that story. I think that story is the one to tell. And then, you know, you do the match, and then, you know, to make it a bit sweeter, you obviously have the title on the line. And you could even have The Rock saying that, you know, he'd love to get into the ring and like show Roman who the real tribal chief is. But, you know, his wrestling boots have long been hung up, and maybe the sweetener from Roman could be, well, listen, if you want to go, old man, I'll put this title on the line and we'll do it as a WrestleMania main event or something like that. So it could even be that The Rock comes in just to have a word with Roman and ends up being dragged into this title match, which, you know, it could be that he wasn't there for that. He was there just to have a word with Roman, set the record straight. He's so disappointed by what he's been seeing. And you could even do it that way. I just don't think you do not need Royal Rumbles, Elimination Chambers, Gauntlet matches. You don't need any of that to be involved in this story. It doesn't need it. Doesn't need it. So I would try and get one of the belts off Roman. If I was booking it, I'd get a belt off Roman. I would get the title onto Seth or someone, and then have Cody win the Rumble and go after the WWE title. So Cody versus Seth for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Lovely. That means that Roman is still the Universal Champion. You can have him take on The Rock at WrestleMania. I'd have Roman retain. And if he gets to May, he has then held that Universal Championship for 1,000 days. Doesn't matter about the WWE one. He only won that at WrestleMania 38. So he's only had that for not even 300 odd days. So that one's irrelevant, really. Like, it's still a good reign if you think about it. Like, actually, even him being WWE champion, still a really impressive title reign. Like, he still nearly had it for a year. If he gets to WrestleMania, that's still considerable, but it pales into insignificance when you compare it to how long he's been Universal champion. So that's why, and I keep saying it. I don't want to keep saying it. I would not do 2 nights of Roman. I wouldn't do it. I just think you run the risk of injury. You run the risk of one match being overshadowed by the other. Like, you going into WrestleMania with Rock versus Roman, that's going to get people talking way more than Roman versus Cody. So Roman Cody is going to feel insignificant in comparison, or certainly smaller. And I just don't think that's, I don't think that's good. You can't build both matches as well as you would want. Like, trying to build both. We've said before, what if he gets injured on night 1? What the flip do you do on night 2? If Roman gets injured, I would be worried about overexposure. I would be worried about injuries. I'd be worried about morale as well, to be perfectly truthful, because if you've got the same person main event in both nights, I can't imagine the rest of the locker room are going to be thrilled with that. Like, if I'm Seth Rollins, or if I'm, Seth was already doing interviews with Ariel Helwani saying that he believes he should be the guy. But, maybe he's just got to accept that he is the macho man to Roman Reigns' Hulk Hogan, but he's not going to stop fighting for that position. All of a sudden now, both nights of WrestleMania are being headlined by Roman. Just sort of feel like, from a morale point of view, that's a real kicker to the rest of the locker room, because they obviously are going to want to main event as well. The women will want to main event. Ronda against Becky would be wanting to main event. Maybe Charlotte, Bianca would be wanting to main event. If you did do Cody against Seth, they would want a main event. Like, it's hard enough battling against all of those matches to main event without having to worry about 2 Roman matches. So I really, really wouldn't go that way. But it seems like WWE are, to be honest. So it's an irrelevant conversation, really, but it seems like WWE are looking at going that way. Massive shout out to Canadian White Owl. I still can't say it. Canadian White Owl. I'd have to have a look, see what a Canadian White Owl is. Canadian White Owl said, thank you for this year of entertainment. Merry Christmas from the home of the Ortons, St. Louis. St. Louis? Is it St. Louis? St. Louis. St. Louis. Cheers. Shout out to you, my friend. Canadian White Owl. St. Louis. St. Louis. That's Missouri, isn't it? St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. I think it's St. Louis. Now I'm saying it out loud. I think it's Louis. St. Louis, Missouri. And I think it's Missouri. But anyway, shout out to you. I hope you have a great Christmas as well. Really appreciate the support. And it's great to see so many people joining us on a regular basis, just hanging out and chatting wrestling and talking just about different things, board games or whatever. But yeah, have a great Christmas as well. Really appreciate the support, my friend. Moldy said, Al Snow said, punch in wrestling used to be illegal. It was a heel move. If you get legit punched, you would be able to run a high spot. No one uses or sells punches like it's legit. It was something that did used to get done behind the referees back, and that is something that has seemingly changed. Like, punching with a closed fist was always something that was seen as an illegal move, and not something that was in wrestling. But now it is something that we are seeing accepted and a lot more of. I don't mind that, personally. It would be nice if there could be some clarity on it as to, what is allowed, what isn't allowed. WWE actually released a book a while ago, and it was a book of WWE rules. And we've spoke about it before. I was so excited about it because perfect for me. I feel like I'm pretty good with the rules, of course. But you always want to have a little read and go, I'm sure I could read a book of WWE rules and go, I didn't know that. I never knew that. I'm certain, I'm adamant that would happen if I was to flick through a rule book and have a little read. And they did this WWE Book of Rules. I couldn't wait for it. I thought it was brilliant, right? I was so excited because, as wrestling fans, we all have that inner, did you know, right? We all have that. Did you know that you're actually are not allowed to tag in if you are a third person and not holding the tag rope? Did you know that? It's that's kind of lives within us. So I was excited, but when the book came out, it's garbage. It was rubbish. It wasn't even a rule book. It was just some sort of kiddie scrapbook with just annotations written all over it by certain wrestlers. Had Dolph scribbling over things saying I'm the show off, and it was rubbish. It was just rubbish. It was nothing like what I wanted it to be at all. It was rubbish. So yeah, I'd love to see a rule book like that. I'd love to see. They'll never do it because then you can hold them to account by those rules, by their own rules. So they won't do it because then you'd be like, hang on, the rule book says you can't do that. And so they're putting themselves into a bit of a corner then, aren't they? They'd have to operate by their own rules. And we know that rules are a little bit loose sometimes, a little bit flexible. Yeah, like the count out that doesn't seem to exist in AEW. Just all a little bit loosey-goosey. So, yeah, I was excited by that. But the close punch, it's an interesting one. That's definitely something that I think has changed over time. But if they were to come out and say, look, you can do it now, it's acceptable now. Rules change all the time in football, for example. We see the handball changing. We see the offside rule changing. We see lots of the number of subs you can have changing. I've got no issue with rules in wrestling evolving and changing over time. It would just be nice to be brought up to speed with them as they evolve and change. Days Hope charging everyone £25 for dinner. Yeah. I was talking about that. I think it was on the members stream. I was talking about the fact that there was a woman here in the UK that's actually charging her family £25 for dinner. I think actually, I don't know if it's 25, but I think it was something like that. £10 for aunts and uncles, about 25 for the her grown kids that have got jobs, £2.50 for the children. And when you first see that, you go, what? But when you actually read it and you see that she's retired and she's on a pension, you go, that totally makes sense, doesn't it, really? Why should she bear the cost of buying Christmas dinner for everybody? Which, honestly, this year, that's going to be substantial amount of money, isn't it? Everything's gone up so much that to have a dinner for 10 or whatever, that's serious money. So all of a sudden you go, well, that's actually fair enough. But it was one of those kind of, those stories that come out that the daytime TV shows like to debate over. It was one of those. But yeah, that was doing the rounds. We touched on that yesterday during the members stream. Mitchell says, what are the end of year wrestling awards like? Match, wrestler, and event of the year. What are your end of the year wrestling? Well, feel free to put in what was your match of the year, who's your wrestler of the year, what's your event of the year. Feel free to put that in. We've kind of been touching on these things a little bit. For me personally, I would say that my wrestler of the year, it'd be hard to not go Roman, to be honest. It really would be hard to not go Roman. I think he's the biggest thing in wrestling. He is constantly in the main event scene, but not only that, he delivers as well. If you think about his match that he has with Riddle on SmackDown, which was really good, and then you think about him and Drew at Clash at the Castle, which was fantastic. What happens after the match was really not great, in my opinion. The whole Tyson Fury coming in and shaking his hand and then them singing American Pie. I didn't need that. But that's got nothing to do with Roman. Roman versus Drew, brilliant. Solo getting involved with, it's a nice way to call him up. Just when we thought that Drew had dealt with all the bloodline, here's another member. So, it sort of shows that Roman is always that one step ahead. So even that, I don't mind. And, his match with Logan, unsurprisingly, was a success at Crown Jewel. He had amazing Brock Lesnar match. That Brock Lesnar match was just in a way, it's just everything that's great about wrestling, because you've got two big guys, championship on the line, main event of one of the biggest events of the year, and you sit there going, right, what are they going to do? Like, we've seen these two face each other like so many times. How do you beat that? And Brock goes, hold my tractor, and brings a flipping tractor down, tips the ring up. We get like cash in from I mean, it's just insane. Like, it's insane, like how much of a spectacle that match was. It was like I don't know what more they could have done. It was insane. So and his promos, the bloodline, how big he feels. If I could name wrestlers, of course, that have had great years, but no one's had the success of Roman, because he's not only held on to that Universal, but he's won the WWE title this year as well. So he's got both of the biggest belts in the biggest company. He's just further cemented himself at the top of the tree. And he's been involved in some of the best matches in WWE, some of the biggest spectacles. It's Roman, isn't it? It's Roman. We can sit and talk about Bianca. We could talk about Sami. We can talk about people in AEW, but it's Roman's year. It's Roman's year for me. Event of the year, I'm probably looking at night one of WrestleMania. I thought night one was fantastic. I thought it was really good from start to finish, but I genuinely believe that the hour that featured Bianca versus Becky, then Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame, then Cody coming back, going into Cody versus Seth, I believe that's an hour of night one. I would say that might be the best hour in WrestleMania history. And I might even put it up there with one of the best hours in WWE history. You have got maybe the women's match of the year, right? I understand Jamie Hayter just had a banger, and I understand there's been some great women's matches, but I think there's a real argument Bianca versus Becky is the women's match of the year. Then you've got Undertaker going into the Hall of Fame, which is one of the biggest moments in WWE history. Undertaker into Hall of Fame isn't a surprise, but to see it happen, you know what I mean? And I know it already happened, and this was him at WrestleMania thanking the fans. It's still massive, right? And then go into Cody Rhodes coming back. It's all well and good knowing it's going to happen, but seeing it happen, and he had been in AEW, you go, what? Like, it's such a monumental moment. And then for him to go out and have an absolute banger with Seth in what might be my match of the year. I mean, honestly, I've got problems with their third match, as is well documented. It's not problems in the sense of I thought it was trash. It's just I thought the wrong person won. And I don't think that it's quite the same level as the other two. You could make an argument the second one is maybe better than the first when they have the rematch. I think it's WrestleMania Backlash. But I still think that if you include the moment of Cody coming back and then the quality of the match that they then have, like, and it's Seth. I mean, Seth is like, he's not Roman, fair play, but he's right up there. It's Seth freaking Rollins against one of the biggest stars, maybe the biggest star in AEW, like, help set up that company. It's, people talk often about Forbidden Door. And I think that if Cody had stayed in AEW, if we were to talk about a Forbidden Door show and a dream match, Cody versus Seth would be on a lot of people's lists. It would be a match that a lot of people would be like, Cody Rhodes versus Seth, right? Of course, there'd be a lot of Kenny Omegas versus Seth as well, but Cody versus Seth would be on a lot of people's lists. We got it at WrestleMania. We got it. And granted, we got it afterwards as well a few times. But that first time, we didn't know that we were going to get rematches after that at that point. So I wouldn't, in retrospect, maybe it takes some away. Had they have only have had that one match, that match would have felt bigger. in retrospect. In retrospect, it might feel a little smaller because we saw it 2 more times after. But for me, I'm still viewing it as I viewed it at the time. I can't believe it. I can't believe he's here. I can't believe we're getting this match. That hour is incredible. It is incredible. And then, like, you know, you round off the day with Stone Cold versus Kevin Owens. Like, there's no show for me that's getting even close to night 1 of WrestleMania 38. I thought it was brilliant. I don't know. I don't know that I can say it was perfect. I can't quite remember what the first match is, for example. I feel like the first match might be Bobby versus Drew. And I think they might have had a bit of a banger. It might have been like quite short and a bit of a fun banger, but I can't 100% remember. But either way, it was brilliant. So for me, day 1 of WrestleMania would take the nod. Tag match of the year is an easy one. It's got to be FTR Briscoes at Final Battle, says James. WrestleMania 39, Edge and Finn Balor. Seth's momentum is slowly coming to a stop. Like Dave said, he shouldn't have beaten Cody with 1 pec. Seth never recovered from that. Do you know what? I think that's actually a fair point. I think that his feud with Riddle was done quite well. But the matches never seemed to live up to it. I thought their match at Clash was all right. I don't remember being crazy about it, but I thought it was all right. But then the Fight Pit match just didn't really do it for me. So, like, we had that. Then we've had, like, this United States Championship stuff, him and Theory. It's been a little bit of it feels like a bit of a weaker end to the year. Like, he will get up and running again. There's no problems with Seth. Like, I'm not worried. But, yeah, that was a hell of a high for him around that time. And I don't think there was anything we've done since that's really matched that level. So, but he'll be all right. Let's see what next year's got to bring. I feel like right now, I mean, we're pretty much done, aren't we? This is a tape show. We know Monday is a tape show. Next Friday is the 30th. We know what we've got on that show. And then I think the next show after that, you know, boom, we're into 2023. So we can sort of put a bow on this year in many ways. 2023. Will be hopefully a good year for Seth. I don't expect Roman to have both titles for the full year. So hopefully Seth can find his way to one of those. There are rumors that we should be getting a draft as well, and that we will be getting a bit of a WWE draft maybe after the Royal Rumble. So that's just something to bear in mind, keep an eye on. Right. Days, is that a Lily doll behind you? No, but it is spooky, isn't it? It is spooky, and I do keep moving it, and every time I start the stream, it just keeps coming back. It is very weird. Jake said White Rabbit thing and Bray return was my favorite of the year. Yeah, I could go with that. I thought White Rabbit was fantastic. I thought it was so well executed. Yeah, I don't think you'd get any arguments out of me for being like the most fun. I sort of feel like it's so hard. Like, I know if we were to ask people what's the best return, people would say Bray, but I feel like the Cody return was so good. I mean, they're both good in different ways. Like, the White Rabbit stuff is amazing, and I loved it, and it led to Bray's return, and his comeback at Extreme Rules was fantastic. But man, if you'd have said to me Cody would be in WWE in 2022 and you said that to me in 2021, I wouldn't have believed you. Cody's going to leave AEW and he's going to go to WWE and he's going to wrestle Seth at WrestleMania. Like, I feel like we're so far away from it and so much has happened since. I don't know that it has the same impact now that we talk about it, but it was just unfathomable that would happen. And it was such a big deal and a big moment. Like, I'm still really drawn to that. So I don't know. I know if you say what was the return of the year, a lot of people are going to say Bray. Bray would definitely be in the running for me as well. I just can't shake Cody off as well. I just really don't know which way I would turn on that, because that Cody moment was incredible. It was incredible. But I think the White Rabbit campaign, yeah, I mean, that absolutely deserves a mention. Absolutely. It was so much fun. And, we still get little glimpses of it. And, there's maybe a chance that we still get a few more QR codes and things. They know that was a big success. They know that that's something that works now. And so, just like everything WWE, they'll run that in the grounds, right? They'll keep doing it until you're sick of it. That's WWE. If something works, they'll just keep doing it until you don't want it anymore. It's like if you was to say to WWE, you like chocolate ice cream, like they will just keep feeding you chocolate ice cream until you are full and you don't even like it anymore. You don't even like chocolate ice cream anymore. So they do go a bit OTT with things. So I totally expect them to give us more QR codes and those kinds of social media campaigns. Triple H has already said as much that they're definitely looking to do that again and do more of those kinds of things. Don't know that it'll be for Bray or how they'll work it, but, let's see what next year brings. Wrestler with Andy said, my favorite moment of the year was Stone Cold's return, Scripps' debut, and the rise of Jobberco. Jobberco was a big moment. Scripps' debut, we'll never forget it. One of the most impactful debuts that I've ever seen in the history of wrestling. And, he's going to have a big year next year. He's going to have a big year. Scripps. Days, the Cody return was awesome. It felt like the 60,000 in the stadium. But the initial noise when the song was a bit lukewarm, as if many didn't know where he came from. I didn't get that vibe, to be honest. I didn't get that impression. There was what felt to me like a big reaction. I mean, whether it was mic'd up right and came across to you as impactful as what you wanted, I don't know. But it got me. I mean, to be truthful, when I watch WrestleMania, I have to have the sound down. So to me, I saw the replay of it and I thought it was good. I don't know that it was quite the same level as maybe the Hardys at WrestleMania 33, but that could just be like mic levels, to be honest. You only hear what they kind of want you to hear, and we know that they can sweeten sound and everything. But you only see what they show you. You only hear what they see. People know who Cody is. I've no doubt that people don't know who Cody is. But whether it came across as big as that Hardy one in 33, maybe not. But that could totally just be an editing thing. But it took nothing away from me because, as I said, when I watched it, it was... I always have the sound turned down anyway for copyright reasons. I don't necessarily need that to enjoy a moment. Frank said, I love the Cody return, but then he got hurt and his momentum stopped. Can't wait till he comes back. James said, the Cody return to WWE was my biggest shock of the year. Bray was most anticipated. The build-up to his return with White Rabbit was brilliant. That's a good way of doing it, actually. It's a good way of doing it. So rather than just putting them both into return of the year, this was the biggest shock, but this was the most anticipated. I like that. Who do you think Connor will face in his comeback? Do you think he'll ever get his belts back? I don't think he ever gets his belts back. I don't think he'll ever be lightweight champion again. There's too many killers in that division, and Connor's struggling to get down to that weight now. I think that I've said I think he should go up against Leon Edwards. I don't think it's going to happen because I think Edwards is going to face Masvidal, but I think that he should face Leon Edwards. Welterweight is the division just above lightweight. Connor has put on quite a bit of size, actually. I don't even know how easy it would be for him to get back to lightweight now. Welterweight might be a bit more of a natural home for him. And there's a new champ, Leon Edwards, who was losing against Usman and then found a head kick knockout right at the end of the fifth round, the final round, the dying seconds, the dying moments. He managed to secure this head kick knockout. And so you look at it and go, well, I feel like Leon would get past Connor, but this is, if you put Connor in that match, he stands a chance of catching Leon because Leon's a striker and Connor's a striker. and he stands a chance of catching him. So, you know, Connor would go into that with a chance. Does he win it? I don't think he does. But it would be a massive, massive fight. So I would do that personally. I don't think they're going to do that. There's a lot of talk around Michael Chandler, but I don't know. We'll have to see. He's not even in the USADA pool at the moment. So I think it takes 6 months when you go back in the USADA pool. It takes about 6 months or so for you to be like tested and made sure that you're clean. What was your favorite pay-per-view of the year? I really thought Night 2 brought down WrestleMania, to be honest. So that's the only caveat. I think Night 1 is incredible. And I think Night 2 sort of brings it down. There wasn't much on Night 2 that I really enjoyed. And there was nothing. I mean, I thought that... I thought the Sami Johnny Knoxville match was just like fun. But some of that was a bit botchy. The ending in particular where Sami gets caught in that big giant mousetrap, which just saying sounds mental. It doesn't quite go to plan, does it? And you sort of have to just go with it. That's the kind of match where if you want to pick flaws in it and you want to say it's a disgrace to wrestling, you can totally do it, right? Because there's more than enough there for you to pick apart. Or if you want to just watch it and enjoy it and just turn your brain off and just go, this is just a slapstick, two guys like in a bit of a comedy match type thing, then you can go with it. Tons of people loved it. There's definitely people out there that didn't. My feelings on it are that I don't mind that type of match, but I really need it to be, I think, a bit tighter than it was, because there was definitely times where like you could, the mousetrap at the end, it didn't work. And like, I think Sami's having to, I think when it finally goes, Sami is having to actually hold the mousetrap down onto himself for when he gets pinned, because he could easily just lift it off himself and the match could continue. Like a lot of this stuff is just, you know, it is what it is. But I thought that was fun. I did think it was fun. I had a great time watching it. I was entertained by it. And so like I ain't down on it, but I feel like that sums up. That was one of the best things in Night 2, actually. There was some like matches that were a bit like, this isn't for me. This isn't for me at all. So yeah, the problem I've got with WrestleMania is, as good as Night 1 was, Night 2 really brings it down for me. Overall, I might go SummerSlam. It wasn't perfect, but the vast majority of it was excellent. So SummerSlam might get the nod, but if I could just pick a day or one like event, one day thing, I'd go day one WrestleMania. I think it's one of the best things WWE have done in a long, long time. We are about to get underway with this week's show. We should be starting very soon. Who's your favorite member of the Bloodline? Go Sami. Why not? Be a bit rude not to. Who's going to win both Royal Rumbles next year? Rumors are that it could be Rock, but I don't want it to be Rock. I'd like it to be Cody. And women's wise, I feel like it's going to be either Becky or Charlotte. Becky or Charlotte. I'll go with one of those. Could be Rhea as well. Rhea could be in the running. Becky, Charlotte, or Rhea. I feel like it's one of those three. Right, then, now, forever together. Let's go. This obviously is a taped show. Friday Night Smackdown. Okay, we've got Christmas graphic. Lovely. And we're going to start with the Bloodline, I believe. Right, I think we've got the Bloodline making their way down. Is it Roman? Dancing on Brazil's grave. No spoilers, anyone. Dun, 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 dun. Right, it is the Bloodline. Dun, dun, dun. Time to get Usi. Dun, dun, dun. It is Bloodline, and here is Roman. We got Roman, we got the Usos, we got Paul Heyman. Bloodline. Have you got a bold prediction for WWE in 2023? Not really. Not really. I mean, I feel like Roman's going to lose the titles. I feel that Gable Steveson should get going. I think Cody will obviously come back. King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring are expected. No, I don't know that I do have like a bold prediction. I certainly wouldn't have predicted what we ended up getting this year with Vince retiring and Sasha walking out and all of that. I think I could have had quite a few bold predictions this time last year. I wouldn't even have got close to what actually ended up happening. But that background is Usi, said Harvey. Thank you, Harvey. Days, how long until Gunther wins the World Championship? I reckon, well, for me, about 2024. I wouldn't do it next year. I think you need to just keep building him. He needs to be a monster. He needs to beat everyone. Who can stop Gunther? He needs to really show that he is the guy. I do understand you might want to get him to the title quick so he can have a long title reign. I totally understand that. Totally understand that. So you might not want to build him too much because you might be more interested in him beating everybody once he's actually champion. But I think that there's so many people waiting for the title. I think you probably need to keep him busy for a while. I think you need to keep him busy because I think you've got Seth, you've got Cody, you've got Kevin Owens, you've got a lot of people that could really do with being around the title. Like for me, Gunther's a little further down the pecking order. So, you know, just keep using him. I mean, people were going mental about his match with Ricochet last week. I think Meltzer gave it 4 3/4 stars. That match, Gunther versus Ricochet on last week's show, scored as highly as Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. Mental. So, like, Gunther's just showing and continuing to show that he is special. I mean, if you've seen him down in NXT UK and NXT, we've known this for a long, long time. But he is definitely someone that's got a bright future. But I wouldn't pull the trigger on him next year. Right, let's see what Paul Heyman's got to say tonight. I'm here to hype you. Oh. He said, I'm here to hype you for 2 back-to-back historic weeks. Getting hyped. Getting hyped. He's a hype bro. Longest reigning tag team champions in history. The Usos. Booze for the Usos. Booze for the Usos. But Days, I honestly can't pick pay-per-view of the year. I've just watched too many. If you pulled a trigger on Gunther quickly, it would have had more impact, and his championship reign would build him as a monster, says Cameron. Ayana says, Hit Row. Botch Row. Okay, so booze as Heyman lays into the local area. So, Bloodline promo to start this show. You know that SmackDown's pre-recorded? Yes. If you pulled the trigger on Gunther quicker... Oh, I read that one. Hit Row against Usos tonight, said Dark Angel. For me, Crown Jewel is good pay-per-view of the year, said Harvey. Pay-per-view of the year, definitely Mayweather with Jake Paul on commentary. I've never seen a show that bad. I have never in all my life seen any show as bad as that. Okay, so they're talking about this big tag match that's coming up. Talking about seeing John Cena get smashed by Sami Zayn and your tribal chief. Roman Reigns. Okay. I went to an apartment viewing. It's kind of small, but I haven't heard from anywhere else. Sonny, I hope it goes well, buds. Right, we got Usi sign. Roman's about to say a few words. I think it's that Sammy chant. Little smile on the face of Sammy. You already know what the tribal chief's going to do. He's going to smash somebody. I've made multiple millions of dollars by whooping John Cena. I want to know. I want to know what the honorary Uso is going to do. This doesn't look like the Sammy I know. He looks a bit flustered. Get it off your chest, Sammy. What's going to happen? Sammy. Crowd starting to cheer. Usi chants coming in. I should be on top of the world. It's the holidays. I just want a little respect. And a place to belong. And I found it. I found that in the hottest group in the history of WWE. I found respect. Roman's like, They love me. This city loves me. Go on, Sammy. Go on, Sammy. Every city we go to, it's Sammy, Sammy chants. You guys are there. See, this might start to irritate Roman. You'd think that would put me on top of the world, but it doesn't. And Roman's like, no, it doesn't. There's a problem, and it's called Kevin Owens. Yes, you helped Santa save Christmas. He did, didn't he? His name. I can't get rid of him. His name has been tied to my name for our whole careers, and I can't get rid of him. Cynthia, shout out to you. Merry Christmas days to you and Mama Day. Appreciate it, Cynthia. Thank you so much, my friends. Hope you have a great Christmas as well. Hope you all have a great Christmas. I hope Sammy has a great Christmas. We are the show, screams Sammy. We are the show. He's proper pointing down the camera. I hope you're watching. We're going to destroy you. Look at this. You're trying to step to the bloodline. And when that happens, you get smashed. Look at that. He's gone through the ropes. In the background, you got Roman going, yeah. He's loving it. Acknowledge the tribal chief. Such a good hype, man. Oh, my God. Sammy is so good. Sammy's gone God mode. Sammy fired up. Roman's like, brilliant. I mean, in all fairness, if you was going into a tag match and your partner was Roman, you'd be feeling pretty good about it. I'd be feeling pretty good about it. Oh, God, he's going to let him down, isn't he? Sami's going to let Roman down, and it's going to break all of our hearts. Right now, I don't want them to break up. Like, right now, I want them to be together and for everyone. I just want everyone to be happy. That's all I want. That's all I want. Roman seems happy. Sami is happy. I just want everyone to be happy. Oh, can't Kevin Owens just get smashed and, like, go to Impact? He'd be happy there. Impact fans will love him. He could win the Impact World Championship. He'll be happy. They'll be happy. Sami will be happy. Roman will be happy. I'm starting to think the real problem here is Kevin Owens. So, yeah, Cynthia, shout out to you. I really appreciate that, my friend. I hope you have a great Christmas. I think they might break up next week and end the year on a high. A high? Being floods of tears. Sami just wants respect and he just wants acceptance and he's found it. And the thing is, he has actually found it as well. See, this is where I think some of the booking might be a little bit wrong, is that I am not sitting here thinking like, Sami, you're being abused, you're being mistreated, you've got to get out of this group. Sort of feel like maybe they should have booked it that way, where I'm sitting here thinking, Sami, you've got to get out. Oh, God, Sami, open your eyes, Sami. But I'm not thinking that. I'm watching going, yeah, they love him. They love him. Roman in the background nodding to everything Sami says. Like right now, it seems great. Seems like they're all having a great time hanging out together. He just wanted to be in a group. He wants some respect. He's found it all. Everything's great for Sami. And it's all about to get ruined. It's all about to be ruined. Bloodline won't split up yet, said Dark Angel. Austin said it's going to be heartbreaking when they turn on him. It'll be like when Seth turned on the Shields. They're just acting like they love him, said Vinji. Well, maybe. Maybe. But right now, my feelings are that I don't want them to break up. I don't know that I should be feeling that way, but I love these segments. These segments are so good. Like, that was such a good promo. And, like Sami just... I always think when I'm watching it, I wonder what Paul Heyman's thinking. Because Paul Heyman is such a great promo. Is he, like, just watching Sami do what Sami's doing? And is he thinking, like, go on, kids? I wonder what he's thinking. Is he thinking, go on, show him. Show him, Sami. Go on, Sami. Or is he going, I wouldn't have done that. No, that's good, though. I wonder if he's being analytical and he's making mental notes. Or I wonder if he's cheering him on. Oh, I wonder if he's standing there going, I could do better than this. I mean, I don't see how, but I do often find myself wondering what Paul Heyman thinks, because Heyman's often regarded and cited as being the best talker, like the best talker in WWE. And like now you've got Sami just killing it. Killing it. That bit as well. It's not even like what he says, but what he says is fine. But like there, when he's like, he steps in front of Roman and then like he's so wound up, he even gets through the ropes. And he's like looking down the camera as he's doing the promo down the camera. So good. And they're going to split it all up, aren't they? They're going to split them all up. And then they'll feel like there's something missing. Right, we haven't got anything missing at the moment, though, because we got the Usos going to be in action against your favourites and mine. Botch row, botch row, botch row. Here we go. Here we go. Botch, 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 botch. I love it when they do that bit. Botch, 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 botch. Here he is. Here he is. God's gift to wrestling. Botch row. Look at that. He puts the cap. Botch. Yes. Knoxville wishes everyone a Merry Christmas, says Bobby. KO does look like he's a jealous friend and he just won't let Sami be happy, said Jacob. I know, man. You should just leave him alone. Some woman holding the WWE title upside down in the crowd. Right, the championships are on the line. I seriously can't remember how they've got this opportunity. I'm sure they must have won a number one contenders thing. That must have been what last week's botch was. To be honest, the botch was so big, it completely overshadowed anything else that was going on. But I think that was a number one contenders match. And here we are then for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships. That'd be really great if there was a moment in the match where, like, maybe Adonis goes over, tags in Top Dollar steps in, and actually Jimmy or Jay just take a second to go over to the ropes and go, oh, oh, and just, like, make fun of it. That would be great. What's Ashanti doing? Ashanti's dancing around like a mad fool. Swerve definitely feels like the missing piece of the puzzle for Hit Row, says Shadam. Big time Baxter said Top Dollar's botch was so bad he made Jim Cornette laugh and wheeze trying to review the match. Steve said, I've heard Top Dollar is actually Rey Mysterio without a mask on. That's really interesting. I've never thought about it. But now you say it. I do remember Rey Mysterio did take his mask off in WCW, and I think he was bald, you know. I think he was bald. Steve, you've nailed it, mate. You've nailed it. I tell you what, that's a Christmas cracker, that is. It's a little Christmas cracker. In America, do you have crackers? Like, that you pull apart at Christmas? I saw an interview that John Oliver did, and he was talking about Christmas in the UK compared to Christmas in America. And they got into the subject of crackers, and I sort of got the impression that you don't have them. Maybe that was just the wrong impression that I got. But do you have Christmas crackers in America? We have them here. The other thing as well is mince pies. Apparently you don't have mince pies in America, which is unfathomable. They're everywhere. Okay, that's weird then. No, said Flybirds Fly. Oh, hello. We are at commercial break. Supersonic says we do. Flybirds Fly says no. Come on, the Usos. Future Comp says yes. What's a mince pie? What's a mince pie? I hate mince pies. What kind of crackers? That you pull apart? Actually, maybe this isn't quite as widespread as what you might think it is. Perhaps there's certain places that do and certain places that don't. Let's see if I can find some. I'm now going to show people what a Christmas cracker looks like, which for many of you will be something you have seen your whole flipping life, and this will be just the weirdest thing. But there's an image. So it's they don't normally have your name written on, and this looks like quite a fancy one. But in all fairness, they're pretty fancy at times. But it's like cardboard tube, and you take the one end. Another person takes the other end and you pull it. And obviously, it's going to break at one of the ends. So someone will get the middle. It won't split in the middle. It'll go on one of the ends, like where it says Roger. or the other one where there's no name tag, it'll break. And that means someone will get the center. And in the center, there's a little bang, because I don't know how they do it, but like when you pull the cracker apart, there's a little thin explosive in there. It doesn't make any like smoke or anything. It just goes pop, just bangs. And when you pull it apart, so you get a bang when you do it. Whoever gets the inside, there's normally like a little hat in there that you can unfold, paper hat thing, crown. So there's normally one of them. There's normally a toy or something. Like sometimes it could be a little toy. It might be, there's loads of stuff. Cufflinks, whistles, so many. I mean, like, you never know what it could be, but there's normally a little something in there. And then there's normally a joke as well. And the jokes are normally super cringe. But, you know, that's part of Christmas. But I was watching, I think, Amber Ruffin and John Oliver, and they were talking about great things to do with Christmas and the difference between the US and the UK. And she said, "What's a cracker?" She didn't know what a Christmas cracker was. She had no idea what one was. That all of a sudden made me go, do they not have them in America? But it seems like a lot of you do. Scott, shout out to you. Says, Merry Christmas, Days. Merry Christmas, Scott. Hope you have a great one. Also, Days is going to start hashtag fire Kevin Owens, because Kevin Owens is going to ruin the Sami and Roman storyline. Honestly, I think we're looking at this the wrong way. I think that Roman is not the heel in this story. It's Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens should just leave Sami alone. He should leave Roman alone, really. If he wants to win a Rumble and then go after the title, that's fine. But, like, this weird kind of obsession, it's just weird. I agree with Sami. It's weird. So, Scott, shout out to you. They're in Ontario. We call them party poppers. What? That you call a Christmas cracker a party popper? Party poppers where you've got a plastic thing, a string, you pull that and it does a little bang, and then confetti or whatever comes out. Pop. That's a party popper. That's what we call party poppers. We never called that a party popper. You call that a party popper? Saying party poppers. Mental? You call crackers party poppers? No, those are confetti makers. Confetti makers! Have you got a confetti maker? That's a party pop. Silly. No, what I just showed you, that's a cracker. If I put in party popper, we are back now, Hit Row. Hit Row. I mean, it's even got it written on them. This is how wrong you are. It's even got party popper written onto the actual thing. Boom. Look at that. Party popper. Party popper. Pop. Pull the string. Confetti shoots out. Boom. Confetti maker. The poppers we have are tiny and they explode. Yeah, is that these ones? Party poppers. Merry Christmas. Yeah, those aren't in Canada. You don't have these. You don't have these. You can sometimes find these at Christmas as well, in all fairness. When you sit down to like go around someone's house, they might have some party poppers for you to pop. You pull the string at the bottom and it somehow shoots confetti out into the... I mean, not loads, obviously, because they're only about that big. That's not a thing. That's something you'd get at kids' parties. I mean, you wouldn't want to look at it when you did it, but it wouldn't blow your face off. But yeah, you'd have party poppers at kids' parties. Maybe some Christmas ones. But crackers that you pull apart, they'll be everywhere. Like, pretty much everyone will have crackers at Christmas. That's an interesting conversation. One that I didn't expect there to be as much difference on. I'll have to show you what a mince pie is, because they'll be everywhere here this Christmas as well. Mince pies. Don't know how many mince pies we get through as a country. Hit Row then in a bit of trouble as super kicks by the Usos. Top dollar down. 1, 2, 3, and the Usos win. Usos win. Usos picking up that sweet dub. Usos are victorious. It's Christmas Eve here in Australia, says Shannon. Shannon, shout out to you. Christmas Eve here in the UK as well, but I think you're even further into it than what we are, of course. But yeah, have a great Christmas. That's bottom dollar, said Tony. Bottom dollar. Botch Row couldn't get it done. What a great match. I think mince pies are what we call pot pies. Well, I'll show you a mince pie. Gunther. We just started doing a progressive match flow as we're looking at, I think, his match from last week. Let's have a look. Yeah. These are mince pies. So the top part can sometimes be a little bit different. Sometimes they've got like a pastry star on there or something. But by and large, it's a little cooked pastry thing with inside you tend to get like raisins, and I really don't know quite what the jelly is made of, to be honest. It's a bit like a jelly in there. I've heard there's like a bit of orange peel that can be in there, and raisins, and guessing sugar and other things. I'll have to have a look, actually. But yeah, these are like mince pies. These are, as I said, you can get like different ones. You can get, I mean, that's a mince pie as well. Maybe that shows it a little better. Let me show you this. These will be everywhere in the UK. I would be amazed if there was, they'll be at like 80, 90% of everyone's Christmases here in the UK will have these. There. So you can see like it's like a crumbly like pastry around the outside. And then you've got that filling, a lot of raisins, whatever. But they are tasty. They are good. They're very Christmassy. In the South, we call them turnovers. Raisins are gross. You're gross. I'm going to Google what's inside a mince pie, actually. Mince pie, also known as mincemeat pie in the US or fruit mince pie in Australia, is a sweet pie of English origin filled with mincemeats. I don't think it does have mincemeat anymore, though. And it's got some fruits, spices, and suet. Suet? Pies are traditionally served at Christmas time in much of the English-speaking world. Ingredients are traceable to the 13th century. Amazing. Typical ingredients include mincemeat, suet, range of fruits, spices such as cinnamon, cloves, and nutmeg, and they are served around Christmas as savoury Christmas pie. So there we go. It goes back to like the 13th century. I don't think there's meat in there, though. If there is, it would only be trace amounts. You certainly don't eat it and taste meat at all. At all. Right, Gauntlet match is going to be starting up next. Emma on her way out for this Gauntlet match. I had fun at the final of the World Cup, said It's Your Boy Mason. I bet you did, but hell of a match. What an incredible final that was. A lot of people saying best World Cup final ever. So I bet you did. Did you see Salt Bay? We have something called a confetti maker, and then the loud bangs are party poppers. It's mincemeat, but there's no mince and there's no meat. Yeah, that's the one. You know that, yeah? You know the pie. You know the mincemeat pie that's got no mincemeat in it. You know that one. The suet is the meat made from the fats around the kidneys of animals. Come on! Come on! That's all I eat, is the fat around kidneys of animals. Oh, it's not an animal safe from me. If I see an animal, I'm just going straight in for the fat around the kidneys. Enjoy that this Christmas when you're eating your mince pies. Emma's a face, but she's got a theme that says it's all about me. Yeah. It's from a heel run, isn't it? It does need to be changed. Do you like lamb? I do like lamb. Lamb and mint sauce might be my favorite meat, you know. Do you like lamb? Do you think Bloodline will be inducted in the Hall of Fame as a faction? If so, would Sami be involved? And would this induction mean every member could be a 2-time Hall of Famer? I don't think they would. I don't know that the Bloodline would. It depends how much longer they're going to go for. I mean, in all fairness, they have had a fantastic run as the Bloodline, but they haven't had many matches as the Bloodline, have they? Like, what would you put them in for? You would put them in for their promo work and the odd match they had, like at Survivor Series when they did War Games. But if you think about how many matches they've actually had as the Bloodline, it's really not many. It's not like the Shield, who used to compete together as the Shields. So I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, you can look at DX as, like, you know, a faction that went in. They didn't compete as DX on a regular basis, but they did still go in. So I'm really torn on it, to be honest. I think it's a really tricky one. I think that the appreciation for Roman might be so great within WWE that they might fancy putting him in twice, because if you could have Roman main event 2 classes in the future, you'd probably do it, wouldn't you? So I reckon they go in from a purely business point of view, whereby they can put Roman in as a solo star, and then they can have him main event another year where they put in the Bloodline, even though I think you could really argue if the Bloodline deserve to go in or not. Because for me, it's questionable. And if they went in, I could see us debating it. But I don't think anyone's going to have a real problem with it. Like, I'm not going to look at it and go, no, this is a disgrace. They shouldn't go in. I don't feel that. But equally, it's just Roman and the Usos and Sami just individually, but like doing promos together, you know? There really isn't that many Bloodline matches that you can hang your hat on. So I'm a bit torn on it, but I think they would do it. And would Sami be a part of it? I suppose in a way we need to know how the story's going to go, don't we? We need to know how this story's going to play out before we know, like, how long they were together, how successful it was, how did Sami leave, and all that stuff. Right, we've got Emma in the ring, and it looks like, I think Zaya Lee is coming down. Right, Zaya Lee making her way down. Zaya Lee! The Protector. Do you remember when she was the Protector? Eric says, next Bloodline Evolution. Eric, shout out to you, my friend. Merry Christmas. Eric says, the next Bloodline Evolution, Solo and Sami will get their own mid-card titles respectively. And for the first time since the Four Horsemen and DX, you will have the most dominant championship stable. So you think they're going to put both the mid-card belts onto Solo and Sami before they split them? No, man, I really don't know. I don't know if you're going to take that belt off Gunther anytime soon. I really don't know. Interesting. But yeah, Eric, shout out to you, my friends. I hope you have a fantastic Christmas. I hope Santa brings you everything you're hoping for. If you had to eat one of the Bloodline, it would be Solo. Well, I mean, I bet he's got some lovely fat around his kidneys. I reckon I could make a lovely suet out of his kidney fat. So yeah, that'd definitely be where my attention would be. The neighbor has invited us over tomorrow. Apparently Santa came early. The old lady got us gifts. Oh, that's lovely. That's lovely, that is. What a lovely lady she is. That's lovely, that is. That's lovely. If you can take some around, Sonny, like, I don't know if, I don't know, I'm just trying to think. If I was in your situation, I'd want to take some, if I could, I'd want to try and take something round. A little plant, or, I don't know. I'd be trying to think, like, what can I take on this old lady? She's been kind enough to invite me round. Don't know. Tricky. What a lovely old woman, though. That's lovely, that is. Paul Heyman is just blubber, said Vinji. Well, yeah. Merry Christmas. I just brought myself $100 of wrestling figures. Did you? Damn. Fair play. Fair play, Eric. Said, I just bought myself $100 in wrestling figures, but hey, I can always fantasy book. Merry Christmas to you and your family, and even Kia. Appreciate it, dudes. Tell you what, appreciate it. That's amazing that you got yourself so many figures. Enjoy those. Can I just say that was really disrespectful what Zaya Lee did to Emma? She just pinned her by putting a knee on her face. Emma's face was like, oh, like this. Not only was she being pinned, but she was being humiliated. 1, 2, 3. Can you get off my face now? Can you get off my face, Zaya? That's amazing. Look at the disrespect. Look at the disrespect. If I'm Emma, I'm going backstage going, what the flip was that? Mess her up, Emma. Mess her up backstage. What was this about? What's that about? Crossbody by Tegan. I've got an image of it. I have to show you. I feel like this needs to go on Twitter, actually. It's pretty funny. I mean, not for Emma. It's probably ruined her Christmas. Made mine. I like Emma, though. The disrespect, though. There's something about that level of disrespect, which I very much appreciate. Right, we've got Tegan Nox has made her way down then. Tegan. Is she going to get pinned? Oh, knee in her face as well. Guys, Zaya Lee's quickly becoming my favorite ever wrestler. Guys, there's a new GOAT. She's just killed Tegan Nox and then shoved a knee in her face as well. She just made her humble. Now she's got Raquel. I can't believe that Tegan Nox has only just come back and already she's being treated like the same with Emma, actually. Well, let me show you. I've got to show you this. She did it to her as well. Brilliant. Look at that. Look at the level of disrespect there. Yeah. Showing off the guns. Knee in the side of the head. Poor Emma's like, I can't believe. Oh, man, that is proper disrespect. Proper disrespect. Amazing. The knee of disrespect. The Rumble graphic had a lightning bolt in it. A hint of The Rock. Oh, I don't think so. But he is expected to be at the Rumble. Why don't you do videos in front of your figures anymore? Just haven't had any videos to do, have we? I mean, we do streams all the time, and what we're doing the World Cup, it's just been so busy. Just haven't had videos to do. Evolution is being buried, said Egyptian King. Let's take Tegan away, change it over for Raquel. If the Bloodline and Shield go in, Roman would be a 3-time Hall of Famer because he would go in himself. That's true. That's true. Maybe because, the Shield definitely would go in. No one would argue with the Shield. If the Shield went in, maybe that would be enough. Perhaps they wouldn't need him to main event it 3 times. Perhaps they'd be like, you know what, 2's fine. I'm going to be controversial. I don't think the Bloodline have done enough to go in. I don't think, for me personally, I don't think they've done enough. I think that if they had competed as the Bloodline more, then I'd be all right with it. But I think, a Bloodline promo is basically Roman talking, and then, you've got Sami there and Usos and whatever. I mean, the dynamic of Jay not liking Sami and all of that, you can only do that with everybody there. So you can only do that with the Bloodline. So you could say that is Bloodline and the promos. But, I mean, what matches are you doing? What matches have there been? There haven't been that many. As I said, for the Shield, they used to compete together all the time. So the Shield's a no-brainer. That's easy. But I don't know about the Bloodline. Really, for me, I'd be leaning no. Because Sami goes into the Hall of Fame. I don't have an issue with Sami going into the Hall of Fame. But, so he'd go in. Usos are going in. Roman, everyone's going in anyway. So it's not like, if there was like someone that wasn't going to go in, I'd be like, oh, you've got to do it because Sami's got to go in. But I really think that Sami's still going to have a very long and successful career. By the time his career ends, he's going to go in the Hall of Fame for me, just as is Kevin Owens, as is Seth Rollins, of course, twice solo and with the Bloodline. Solo Sikoa, I don't know about, though. Solo Sikoa might not go in. We don't know how his career is going to go. So I'm not sure about that one yet. Zaya Lee against Emma. Zaya Lee against Tegan. And now we've got Zaya Lee versus Raquel. Winner of this is going to go on to face Ronda, so I don't think it's going to be Zaya Lee. They're trying to give Zaya Lee something to get her teeth into here. They're trying to get her over. They had her as that mystery attacking person last week. Tell you what, Raquel has got her arm. Look at that contraption on her arm. How is she allowed to wrestle with that? How is she allowed to wrestle with her arm in that contraption? How is that fair? Look at the arm thing. If she uses that, does she get DQ'd? Fall away slam. Raquel is going up, looking to splash down on Zaya. 1, 2. It's like this, like the flipping Terminator. I think they could do something where she good in the ring. Think Asuka in NXT. She could be like that, but Chinese. Days, you need to try poutine. Never tried it. Don't know it. Sami can't go in the Hall of Fame. He's done nothing significant. I doubt he'll go in. I don't see a world title run in him. I think he goes in. I think he goes in because he was NXT champion. Had a banger of a match in NXT with Nakamura. Came up. He's been on the main roster for a good number of years already. He's been in the Bloodline. And this, you've got crowd chanting his name. I don't think you only have to win a world title to get into the Hall of Fame. Raquel has picked up a victory here. I don't think you only need to do that. You know, Coco Beware is in the Hall of Fame. So I don't have many doubts that Sami will go into the Hall of Fame once his career is done. The one that I'm not sure about is Solo, because obviously I don't know how his career is going to go. She should use it like Bob Orton's cast. Drop kick there by Liv. It's weird. I mean, she's a face. We've got Raquel against Liv. I mean, in all fairness, I haven't seen her use it like Bob Orton's cast, but Liv charging over, looking for takeover. She's picked up, looking for a powerbomb maybe by Raquel. On the shoulders. Shots coming in by Liv. Roll through. 1, 2. Little roll up here by Liv. 2. Raquel is down. Liv in control. We're at nearly the 50-minute mark. Nice roll through again. 1. Just the 1 by Liv. Liv just constantly going for pins. Rolling through. Nice reversal. Kick out by Liv. Charges over. Gets scooped up by Raquel. Raquel reversed into a sleeper hold here by Liv. Liv has got a sleeper hold. Did she just like ruffle the hair? It momentarily looked like Liv just went. That's if she did, that's the deadliest wrestling move. Not only has she got a sleeper on, she went. Raquel trying to get back up to her feet. Trying to get up to her feet. Screams. Falls backwards. Drops Liv down. I want to see if she did. This continues on SmackDown. She did. She did. She proper went. She properly did. I just saw the replay of it. See, that's the advantage of watching it on TV and then also getting the feed on the internet, is that I can watch something and then because that's delayed, I can then 30 seconds later see the replay. She did momentarily go. More wrestlers should do that. Big Time Back said, I don't know about you, but it feels like there's not a sense of order within the women's division. Triple H is trying to keep everyone looking strong and decent, but it doesn't feel like there's levels. Nuggy Mania. Liv is up there for most improved of 2022, said Darcy. Macca said, chat is the next pay-per-view Royal Rumble. Yes. In America, we call what Liv did a nuggy. Nuggy. I think we call it as well. I think we call it a nuggy. Do I refer to it as that? I suppose I would. I don't know that I've ever seen a wrestler doing it though. Liv is better than half of the AEW women's division. DB said, I'm going to ask my partner to marry me on Christmas Day. Wish me luck. Good luck. I do wish you luck. I doubt you'll need it, bud, to be honest. I would imagine that you probably know your partner very well. You've been together a long time. I would imagine you've got a good idea as to how it's going to go. But I suppose, well, the nerves are more than understandable. So I wish you all the very best of luck, but I very much doubt you'll need it. I disagree with Liv being most improved. Most push, I will give you that, said Big MGM. I want a nuggie from Liv, says Max. Maybe she'll use the brace versus Ronda, said Chill Dudes. Maybe. Don't do it. It's cheaper staying not married, says James. It's good advice. Rhea is going to win the Rumble, said Austin. I would take a nuggie from Mandy Rose, says Aubrey Edwards. Yeah, but she would charge you about 300. Well, God, probably more. 300, be dreaming. 3,000. She's making bank at the moment. Liv has improved tremendously in comparison to her past performances, says Lady Noir. It's a lovely name. Lady Noir. William said, that's what I should do. The storage room could be closets. I think if ever William says that the storage room could be your closet, you want to make sure that you're reevaluating your life. I would not recommend spending any time in William Hence's storage room. Why couldn't the skeleton go to the Christmas party? Because he had no body to go with. It was all right, That was all right, Steve. That was all right. Right, Raquel launching herself at Liv. We've got a few more ladies coming up. Chris said, my phone is trash. Did you know that the word dub starts with the letter D? Sound it out. Huh? I have no idea what that comment was. Do you know the word that begins with W? We'll put a D there instead. What? World. Dulled. What do you mean? Volta. Dolta. Wrestling. Dressling? I'd watch some dressling. I don't know what that is. It sounds like something horses do when they're dancing. Bit of dressling. Right now, Liv is in control. She's got both of the arms trapped. I don't know what this is meant to do. I'm guessing it's meant to pull the arms back, but your arms can go back quite a way. Like, I don't really see where the pain is on this. I don't really see what she's meant to be submitting to. I mean, I suppose, well, her elbow's hurt, isn't it? I suppose, but I don't really get that move. Either way, Raquel has got up to her feet. She's still got Liv on her shoulders. Drops her down. It was a bit, I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was. Kick out. I don't even know who was meant to be doing the move to who on that. All of a sudden, Liv just went down and Raquel just seemed to go, bop. I do wonder if the arm is like a real problem, a real distraction. Maybe Raquel just can't quite get into the rhythm or something. That move was so botched. Right, we've got Raquel going up. Comes crashing down onto Liv. 1, 2. Kick out. For her arm, she's sure using it a lot, said Jojo. Nothing exciting on SmackDown so far. Oh, I like the promo at the start. Promo at the start was good. So that was good. Raquel botch. Shoulder up by Liv. Opinions on Dakota Kai. I would completely present her differently to how she's being presented. I don't think how she's being presented is very good. I think her promos are all right. I think they're better pre-taped than live. I think she is capable of some decent matches, but I just don't think she's over. I don't think that we've got really anything to hang our hat on in regards to Dakota. Like, what do you know about Dakota? I mean, I know she's from New Zealand. I know that she spent time in NXT. I know that she's a women's tag champ. I mean, I feel like she's just there to make up the numbers, to be honest. And I hate to say that because I think she's got real potential. I mean, she has got a lot of indie experience, and she was People really enjoyed her in NXT, but in all fairness, even in NXT, she was constantly being put with people because she seemed to struggle on her own. So she was constantly being put in like tag teams with Raquel, for example. And yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind her. I like her, but I think she needs to be booked differently. But putting her into, maybe that's why she's in this faction, because on her own 2 feet, she struggles to stand on her own 2 feet. Right, here comes Sonya Deville. It's a victory for Raquel. Raquel able to get the win over Liv. So now we've got Sonya coming down. Eric says, Liv puts pressure on the rotator cuffs. It hurts. I just can't see it. I can't see it because I feel like your arms can go back quite a way. Like maybe it's because she wasn't bringing them back enough. I mean, it honestly looked like the arms were going back like this, like you'd put your arms out wide. I can understand if they were like really being pulled back. Just didn't look that way at all. Didn't look that way. It really just looked like she had the arms trapped like that and then being pulled back to a manageable level, to be honest. Which, I mean, they're not really hurting each other, so I suppose you can go with it, but I don't know, just putting my arms back like that, like I can get my arms back like this. I mean, obviously if they're going around here, then I get it. But that's not what she was doing. It's one of them, innit? It's one of them. It's like if she was to properly sink it in, I could see it. In my mind now, there's a load of people doing this now, going, how far can I put my arms back? People trying it at home. Do you remember when Alex randomly decided to dislocate her arm? It was a waste. It could have been used better. Alexa, yeah. Shoulder up. Right, it's not... she's not taking on... What I will say is, having done it a few times, I can definitely feel it now. In all fairness. Having done that a few times, I can now definitely feel it. Do you think that Cody will be in the Rumble? I think so. I'd be surprised if he's not. Right, she's working on the arm here, Sonya. Sonya's got the arm of Raquel. Was anyone in the audience for this? Oh, what? Anyone there here? That's a good question, I'd say. Old man days. Yeah, I know. I can feel it now. Raquel wins. Raquel wins the Gauntlet. And it is next week that she'll face her. So Raquel is the winner of the Gauntlet match. You can wipe that grin off your face. You haven't won anything yet. Shayna Baszler coming down. Hang on, the Gauntlet match isn't over. Well, what if Shayna wins? Does that mean we get Ronda versus Shayna? Shayna Baszler's made her way down. Raquel shouldn't beat a fresh Shayna Baszler. She shouldn't beat a fresh Shayna Baszler. Unless Shayna's going to get DQ'd or something. Because she's taken that protective thing off. And now she's stomping on the arm. Shayna has got that protective cover. 1, 2, 3. That's stupid. That's stupid. Ah. Okay. Well, that happened. So Shayna took off the brace. As she was posing, she gets rolled up. 1, 2, 3. I don't know if they think that protects Shayna and it makes Shayna look all right or unlucky or something. It just makes her look really stupid. It just makes her look really stupid. Okay, we're going over to the Bray thing now. Michael Cole's still trying to figure this out. He can't figure it out. Okay, so we are looking at a video package. That was a week ago when he got kidnapped, you know. It wasn't me, my brother. And then here's Bray. I'm sick of you. Matches next week. That match is next week, yes. So it's going to be Ronda versus Raquel. Right now, we are just seeing what happened last week between Bray and LA and Uncle Howdy coming out. It wasn't me, my brother. Bray has great production. I don't really give a shiz because it never leads to good matches, says Whisperance. Well, I mean, I don't watch the Bray thing for his matches. This is why I'm not worried about getting to a match. I've said it quite a few times when people have said, when's the match coming? It's like, it's not about the matches. It's about his character work. It's about the characters. It's about the worlds that he creates, you know? Is Bray Wyatt vindicated? ? Bray Wyatt vindicated. Next week, John Cena and Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn and Roman Reigns. Raquel Rodriguez versus Ronda Rousey. It's going to be big, isn't it? They are making next week Smackdown huge. F the matches. I love the stories, said Oration Minds. Howdy was completely different, said Chill Dudes. Also, wasn't that Money in the Bank match Liv won extremely botchy? Well, I mean, she did. I don't know that you can really blame her for that, though. I think there was some botches that were in that Money in the Bank match. Many think Uncle Howdy is Bo Dallas, but we all know that Bo is Bray's brother. How is he his uncle too? I don't think the stories are that good. Mostly it's just him droning on. He sounds good saying it, but none of it means anything. Well, I think to create the funhouse and to have puppets that represent parts of your career, like, you know, you've got Mercy representing Waylon Mercy, Abby the Witch representing Sister Abigail, blah, 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 yeah? And then, like, to have that kind of sinister undertone. So you do the funhouse, and then you've got, like, these little Easter eggs in there. Abandon all hope ye who enter here on the door, for example, which is a line from Dante's Inferno, which is being widely used again as a reference during this recent story as well. There's, like, these little things that you can pick at. And I think that to involve it's a new level of engagement whereby normally you just watch wrestling and then you might be able to talk about it afterwards, of course, and review it. And that's normally how you watch wrestling. Talk about, like, what you think's going to happen, talk about what has happened. But it's very unusual for there to be a character where you can actually try and work things out as to where a story is going, and they give you clues, and there's phone numbers, and you can call the numbers and hear like a tape recording, and you can then go to a YouTube channel where there's a video that's been uploaded, or there's coordinates, and you can go there and see a giant rabbit on a hillside in Italy, and like all this kind of stuff. Like that to me, White Rabbit and the QR codes and all that stuff, that's the gold. And Funhouse was gold. And then the arrival of the Fiend character was gold. I do understand the criticism that this story is taking a bit of time and it's not really moving. But I don't know that you can say that following last week when Howdy was in the arena. You know, that definitely changed a lot of people's minds as to who is Uncle Howdy and what is Uncle Howdy's relationship to Bray. So I sort of feel like had we have just got a boring promo last week, I could understand. And there have been a few weeks of that. I think the promo we got at Crown Jewel was very disappointing in the end. And there's definitely been some that you've been expecting something big and it's not delivered. But I thought last week was pretty strong. Like, you know, it definitely put a swerve, a little bump in the road as to who is Uncle Howdy. But there's plenty of people that aren't feeling this story. I don't think it's unfair to say this one doesn't seem to be grabbing people the same way the Fiend and the Funhouse did. But I still like it. I still like something different. There's plenty of good wrestling on the show. I don't need to see Bray wrestle personally. But I can understand people that are not feeling it and are struggling a bit with it. I can understand that. Bray will give a mandible claw to LA Knight. Do you think Sami and Kevin are the ones to beat the Usos for the undisputed tag titles? Probably. When do you think they will get a new entranceway? I don't like the one big screen. I don't know that they're going to change it, to be honest. I think it serves a purpose. It's clean. It does what it needs to do, really. I don't know that there's a need to change it. I actually think these are better than the ones they had before. The ones they had before, they had the like ribs or whatever they were, those things on the entrance stage, the SmackDown one before the pandemic. That was pretty cool, but it is a bit limiting for no reason. And then the other one that was like the slope, I think on paper that looked quite good, but in actual fact, I don't know that it looked as good in reality. I actually don't mind this entranceway. I think it's just does a job. It's just a big screen. It's clean. It's nothing in the way. You can do Bray's entrances with the door, for example. Having the door and everything, as well as those things that come up that you walk through, that might get a bit cluttered. And we see loads of brawls on the entrance stage as well. So again, those things that come up, they might just get in the way. So sometimes like just having it clean so that it's more versatile, you know, might not be the worst thing. I would like them, though, to do different stages for the big premium live events. I feel like they still need to have something special. Like Backlash with the swinging spikes. They were always really cool. That was always fun. Armageddon always had great stages. So yeah, I think like you could still do them for those types of shows. I don't know that I would change them for this though, because it's clean, it's simple, it does what it needs to do. But if anyone had ideas, I would be certainly open to hearing them as to what you would do. But what we're going to be hearing first is Bray Wyatt. Because we're already 10 minutes past into the second hour, believe it or not. Well, you have to believe it, because it's true. We're 10 minutes into the second hour. Bray Wyatt is in the ring with his lantern. And we're going to hear what Bray has got to say. Right. Bray in the ring. Roman can take as long as he likes to get to the ring. It's been serious. Says it's nerve-wracking. He said he won't be used to people being excited to see him. I genuinely don't know if there's a real me. LA Knight owes me an apology. I still don't believe you. I'd like to go on record as saying I still don't believe you. Be honest, you thought it was me. I still do. He says, truth is, I'm not Uncle Howdy. Never was. Struggling. Lost his train of thoughts. Yeah, I mean, he hasn't. Goes down onto to his knees. Drops the microphone, puts his head in his hands. This is interesting. I might have seen what this leads to. Oh, yeah, grabs the cameraman. I think it is a mandible claw. Yeah. Wow, it is a mandible claw. Look at that, the camera. Adam Pearce coming down. So this is what we've seen. So Bray just said he lost his trail of thought. Out of nowhere, he attacks the cameraman. So people had sent me the footage of him. People had sent me the footage of him attacking the cameraman. There was no way of really avoiding that. But mandible claw is... I didn't know it was a mandible claw. There's a hurricane. Fiend is taken over. What happened to Bray? Mandible claw is a brilliant maniac. He's a maniac. Yowie wowie. Yowie wowie. The Fiend used the mandible claw. Yeah, I mean, that's the hint, I think, is that it's the Fiend that's starting to show itself, maybe. It's done. No more Bray until next week. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Excellence of execution says, dearie me. Alexa snaps, and now Bray. Oh, God. Guys, can everyone stop snapping, please? It's Christmas. Just enjoy Christmas. Why is everyone snapping at this time of year? Just enjoy Christmas. Jeez Louise. Right, I'm just trying to bring over some of these images to show you. got Bray, then he loses his trail of thoughts. Then he goes after the poor cameraman. It's a good image, that is, actually. Look at that. That's nice. That's nice. Some, you can see the mandible claw really in. They've got some good shots of this, actually. Adam Pearce came running down. Okay. Right, we should be going back to the action. There might still be like a backstage moment. I'm not sure. Might be a backstage moment. What's that? Okay. Right, they're just showing a replay moments ago. They're just showing. Okay, they're just showing a replay of it. Feel like there might have been a flicker in the background, you know, when he did it. I saw some like sort of really flicker in the background. When he does it, I feel like something flickered. I could have been wrong. I'd have to have a look at another replay of it. But as soon as he gets the mandible claw, something seemed to flicker. I don't know, maybe if they had some disruption with the Titantron, or if they had the lights flicker, or if it was something along those lines. Not sure. We're going to hear from LA Knight, though. No. Let's have a little look at this, shall we? So, big news coming out of SmackDown this week. So, we had a graphic asking the question, was Bray Wyatt vindicated? Obviously, last week, we saw Uncle Howdy seemingly a separate person, seemingly not Bray. Obviously, that's debatable. It's still being debated as to who Uncle Howdy is. But what we got was we got a promo. We got Bray Wyatt coming down to the ring. And this was Wyndham again. He was very nervous. He said, this is the hardest thing for me to do. It's really nerve-wracking talking in front of you guys. It's a surreal feeling having people like show me such love and support and be so excited for seeing me. I just won't be used to like people being this excited to see me. He said, I genuinely don't know if there is a real version of me. But one thing he does know is that LA Knight owes him an apology. And he said, be honest, you all thought that Uncle Howdy was me. But the truth is that I'm not Uncle Howdy. And as he was talking, he started to lose his train of thought. He actually even apologized for it. He just all of a sudden started to lose his way with what he was saying. Here he kind of goes down to his knees. And then all of a sudden, he just launches himself at the cameraman that's filming this and starts attacking the cameraman. So he grabs the cameraman, puts in the mandible claw. Now, this is noteworthy because the mandible claw was a move that we saw the Fiend using. And it's very much a move that's associated with the Fiend. This feels like the Fiend showing itself. It certainly feels as if Bray isn't in control. He lost control here, seemingly out of nowhere as well. I do need to watch this back because as he puts in this mandible claw on this cameraman that seemingly did nothing wrong, it felt like something flickered. It might have just been people taking pictures. I doubt it, though. It felt like something flickered in the background. So I do need to rewatch it for that reason. But he puts in that mandible claw, attacks the cameraman. Cameraman goes down onto the ground. This brings out the likes of Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce pleading with Bray to release this hold. But you can see that Bray keeping it applied and just seemingly just not in control. I mean, that was his face at the end of it. And then we went straight to commercial break. So we haven't heard from Bray. We haven't heard from Adam Pearce. We don't know what the repercussions are going to be. Obviously, you can't go around attacking cameramen. It's just not the done thing, in all fairness. But so there could be some sort of repercussion to this. But to be honest, I mean, it might be a fine. It might be a suspension for a week or something. I think the more noteworthy thing here is that he's using that mandible claw. He's clearly not in control, but that's not really news. And it does feel like teases for the Fiend. Bang, bang. That's a nice clean picture, isn't it? Bray Wyatt vindicated. No. That's the answer. No, he wasn't. Because he's a wrong un and he attacked a cameraman at Christmas. That poor cameraman's meant to spend time with his family. And now he's going to have his Christmas dinner through a straw. Poor cameraman. No one ever thinks about the cameramen, do they? No, it's all fun and games, isn't it? Yeah. It's all fun and games until someone gets hurt. Right, okay, so let's just check this up. We've got, right now, we've got Rey Mysterio in action. He's taking on Angel. And I can tell you that Karrion Kross and Scarlett are watching. Okay, so Rey Mysterio. No, what am I doing? Bray Wyatt attacks WWE cameraman. Wing clipper. Bang, bang, bang. Lovely, 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 lovely. Okay, so Angel in control at the moment. As we said, Karrion continuing to watch on. Angel going against the ropes. Nice work by Rey. It's so cool to see Rey back in singles action. Rey going over the top into a DDT, and Rey picks up the victory. So Rey getting the win. Here is your winner, Rey Mysterio. Cameraman sacrificed himself for us, just for our entertainment. What a guy. What a guy. So it is a win for Rey. What happened in the first 30 minutes? There was a promo from the Bloodline, and there was then Usos versus Hit Row match. Big Dom will come home for Christmas. Is he welcome? Is he even welcome? Right, so we've got Karrion and Scarlett watching on. An ominous warning for Mysterio. Backstage with Ricochet and Braun. Was Botch Row on tonight? They were, yeah, and they took on Bloodline. Usos, actually. TikTok. Let's go. Strowman and Ricochet are ready. They're going to be taking on Imperium in a Miracle on 34th Street fight as we go to commercial break. Karrion and Scarlett are watching. And we're running out of time. We've only got just over half an hour left to go, you know. Braun looks like he smells. I've met Braun. He's lovely. Jacob said, I think Bray was going to say, whenever I think about what Uncle Handy stands for, he stopped before saying stands for. Dave's top dollar is going to win the Rumble. Tell me who can get him over that top rope. Listen, he can't even get himself over the top rope. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. If he can't get himself over the top rope, who else is going to get him over the top rope? I'll wait. I'll wait whilst you come up with your wrong answers. You're absolutely right, buds. You're absolutely right. There ain't no one getting top dollar over the top. Otis will throw him over. What I think about that. Didn't AEW already do this? Do what? Do what? Do a Miracle on 34th Street fight? I mean, it's something WWE have done, I don't even know how many years. Decades. He'll only get over the top rope with a ladder, says Maggie. Can't say I saw Braun and Ricochet teaming up, says Jono. Halftime, I think we're well past halftime, to be honest. To be a great athlete, you have to weigh your poop, says William. Breaking it. Are you going to watch the AEW Battle Royal with the really long name? I don't know. When's it on? If it's on Wednesday, I'm not, because I've got family round. And Wednesday is the only stream next week I can't do. I'm here for Raw. I'm here for NXT. I'm here for SmackDown. I'm just busy on Wednesday. So if it's on that day, then sadly not. But if it's in the future, then maybe. Top Dollar could buy the top rope. I mean, I think he'll want to stay in the Rumble for as much as possible. So the fact he can't even get himself over the top rope, it's a big advantage for him, innit? It's a big advantage. I've been doing that for years, says Dark Angel. Dark Angel's been doing Miracle on 34th Street fights since going back to the 1980s. So Sasha is going to show up next week with Daisy's Luck. Sasha's going to show up on next week's SmackDown. You heard it here first. You heard it here first. Battle Royal is on tonight, said Mr. Unfamiliar. Oh, okay. Know them. The really long Battle Royal, I just don't bother remembering the name, is a Christmas Battle Royal, and it's on Rampage. It's a show that doesn't even exist in my mind anymore. Coach Co said, it is believed that the red stripes on the candy cane represent the blood of Christ, and the white stripes represent the purity of Christ. Blood, purity, blood, purity, blood, purity. I'm only getting blood. Where's the purity? Oh, there it is. Interesting. Eva Marie is going to challenge Days to a wrestling match in New Year's Eve. Mess her up, mate. Hey, we're backstage with Carrion and Scarlett. Is Emma. Remember when she had that knee in her face? Yeah, who the hell do you think you are? Riddick. I called him a fool, said Scarlett. Slap to Scarlett. Oh! Emma slaps Scarlett. Arion's like, hey. He looks at Emma. You have no idea what you've just done. You have no idea what you've just done. She said Riddick as well. Riddick Moss. You have no idea what you've just done. You slap that boomer in the face. That's what she's done. Let Scarlett wrestle. It feels like mixed tag might be on the way. Riddick Moss and Emma versus Carrion and Scarlett. Here's Hitcha. Cena. Ruthless. aggression. It's quite the first statement, isn't it? It's quite the first moment of your career to be in the ring and go ruthless aggression. Undertaker putting his hand out, shaking the hand of John Cena. So we've just got a John Cena appreciation moment here. Yeah. Sick. John Cena. John Cena sucks. I forgot about Cena. Emma against Scarlett could be a great match. Nugstar, shout out to you. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. It's crazy to think John Cena was very close to being fired before they found out he could rap. Why still call him Madcap when you have a name like Riddick, said Steve. I mean, that is true. I'm not against moving away from calling him Madcap. I don't know that Riddick is much better, to be honest, but we're just seeing Cena and The Rock and some of these iconic moments from Cena's history. Oh, wow. Just heard good old JR. It's John Cena. There's not a superstar today that generates the emotion that John Cena does. I feel like I've seen this exact video package before, you know. WWE are phoning it in now that it's a Christmas episode. Yeah, his Make-A-Wish work is incredible. Beating The Rock still hurts. Sasha will show up in AEW when Days isn't live, said Chill Dudes. Bum, 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 bum. John. It's a nice little trumpet, isn't it? The Drew Barrymore show. Just seeing all the different... Ellen. She got cancelled. Has Ellen been working out? That's not what I was thinking, Job. Seriously, do we need a 10-minute video package? Yes. This is a taped show, and we've got nothing to put on air. Much respect to Cena for his Make-A-Wish work. I believe Cena crushed the all-time Make-A-Wish record. He did, yeah. Did we even do halftime scores? Yeah, we did. We did, and they were amazing. The greatest halftime scores we've ever done. Davey Boy Smith Jr. is better than Roman, says J. Boy Smith. Nothing but love for the Smith family. It's an old video. Suicide Squad was 2016. Well, I feel like I've definitely seen this before. It's just a compilation of like his films, his biggest matches, his biggest moments. Days is lying. Nope, it really is a video package of his biggest matches and his biggest moments. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Cody Rhodes said Cena is the model in the industry. I think the model in the sense that, well, actually, it's Rick Martel, if you want to be specific. But Vince on TV. Do you think they knew that Vince was on TV? Do you remember last week? Wasn't it last week when they showed Vince for tribute to the troops? And I was like, oh, do you think this is a way of like getting Vince back on TV? And now next week's Vince again. Makes me do that. Makes me think. Are they trying to condition us to just get used to seeing Vince so that he can go into a Hall of Fame? Or take the company back? What's going on? Vince McMahon on my TV. Ronda and Raquel Women's Championship next week. We've only got 23 minutes to go. 23 minutes to 23 minutes to. Yeah, it wouldn't be Christmas time without the Miracle on 34th Street fight. Christmas tree. Is this our main event? Probably is, isn't it? With only 23 minutes to go. And only. One and only. Right, Ricochet. Fresh. Off that banger. Match that people really enjoyed last week. Do you still consider AEW something that caters to hardcore or casuals? I think it largely caters to hardcore. I think that, a good percentage of the 900,000 viewers they get are people that really know their wrestling and know Kenny and the books from New Japan. And, that's why they can do things like Forbidden Door with a certain degree of success. But there are undeniably casuals that have now since come along that have found this show, got into this show since it started and don't know Kenny from New Japan and don't know the books from New Japan. And they might actually have got into it because, oh my God, I know Jon Moxley. Oh my God, I know Daniel Bryan. Oh my God, is that Rusev? Oh my God, is that Rhea Ripley? Is that Tony Storm? Like, there's people that have got into it since it began. So I think there's a good percentage. I'd say a larger percentage that watch AEW that are probably hardcore, proper wrestling fans that just watch wrestling. But there is undeniably a subsection that has got into it since it has started. Are you streaming Rampage? No, John. We don't do it anymore, but bet they'll have Gunther defend his Intercontinental title in Elimination Chamber. I would do that. I think it'd be a great showcase for him, and you could have a killer match. Imagine Gunther inside Elimination Chamber. He should be in an Elimination Chamber. So I really like that idea. Who do you think will dethrone Gunther? I really don't know because I don't know when it's going to happen. You could be looking at someone like Gable Steveson. You could be looking at someone like Johnny Gargano. I really don't know. I mean, we don't even know what the rosters are going to be until we've had the draft. I mean, it could be anyone in WWE that's male. It's probably not going to be a female. Will Sasha walk out on New Japan? No, I don't think she'll walk out on New Japan because I think she's only going to work a few dates. She's not a full-time wrestler. She's gonna be at Wrestle Kingdom, and that's going to be big when she walks out at Wrestle Kingdom. And she'll come walking out at Wrestle Kingdom. That'll set up the match between her and Kairi Sane. They'll do that match at a different event further down the road. Then she'll do a few more matches, but she's Brock Lesnar. She's part-time. She's just coming in for a few shows. So I can't see her really being around enough to walk out. Bobby Lashley is somewhere watching this, not amused, says Space Maniac Zach. A lot of fans are getting into NXT. They've done over 700,000 5 times this year, said Big Time Baxter. LB said, I can't believe they used a whole segment for an entrance and then went to commercial break. Believe it. Believe that. It's not... it's Bibby, not Bobby. That's true. Next week, John match. I thought it was day 1, went to day next week. It is next week. So John Cena next week in action. It's going to be good. 700,000 more than watch Rampage, said James. I'm still not over Clash at the Castle, said Jake. What a night. Oh, what a night. Do you enjoy the NXT product? I think it can be a bit hit and miss. I think it's got some good stuff going on, but I think it's got some rubbish stuff going on as well. Here's Lacey Evans. Stepping into some... Look at this. Lacey Evans with some gloves on. Why she got padding on? Iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. Processed food gives you autism. Lol. Guys, don't listen to this. I don't know what the voiceover's going to tell you. I don't know what she's going to be saying. She is a fighting machine. Special thanks to the United States Department of Defense. What are they doing with Lacey? They're trying to make her out to be like a military warrior now. The mission commences next week. She's on a mission to destroy every single woman and her credibility. Clash at the Castle was great right up until they showed the Tyson Fury Drew McIntyre sing-along, said Chris. Bring back World of Sports. I'm surprised Lacey dared show her face, says Maggie. Oh, well, this is going to be just old, isn't it? Here come Imperium. Giovanni Vinci. USA have got Mount Rushmore. Who's the 4 on the UK cliffs of Dover? Don't know. What would it be? Of what? Because it's presidents in it. Queen would be on there. Chuck the Queen on there. Princess Diana would probably go on. She can go on. Winston Churchill would go on. Bosch. There's another. And Shakespeare, maybe? Probably be that. Shakespeare, Princess Diana, the Queen, and Winston Churchill. Done. Why do they keep trying to reinvent Lacey Evans? They really... I don't know, actually. They seem to see some in her that I'm not sure the fans have ever quite seen. Right, Braun and Rick O'Shea versus Imperium. Let's Jet said, did you hear that Ricochet went to ICW first, then WWE? No. I know he was in Lucha Underground. I know he has been in other promotions, but I couldn't tell you what promotions he's been in. I know he's been New Japan and Lucha Underground. I wouldn't be surprised if he wrestled at Wrestle Pro. Or Rev Pro, sorry. When do wrestling fans know what they want, said James. It's a really good point, James. It's a really good point. Are we going to see someone pour eggnog on someone in this match? Yay! I hope so. And maybe someone's going to put a present over someone's head and they're going to stumble around. It's Christmas time. You never posted your Bray video. Do you know, it's taking forever to upload. I've made a slight boo-boo, to be perfectly honest. Made a slight boo-boo. I actually changed my settings for recording videos, and I wanted to make the quality of them a bit better. So I've set it on the best setting that you can for recordings. The only problem is the file normally would have been a couple of 100 meg. It's now 3 gigabyte. So, of course, it's taken a lot longer to upload. So that's probably something I'll have to reconsider in the new year. I mean, the quality was all right before, to be honest. I didn't need to mess with it. But I just saw the setting. I was like, oh, I might as well go for the best quality I can. This computer can deal with it. Thought I did a massive video file now. It's like 10x the size of the video file. So at the moment, it's on like some percent. Hopefully it'll get there before, 'cause to be honest, as long as it gets there before the end of the show, it should be all right. I like to have them up so that when people stop watching SmackDown, the video's there, you know? So it's just taking a bit longer than usual, though. Because I Christmas botched it. Lol. Right, we are at commercial break, and we've got 13 minutes to go. Do your fire. Next to your fire. Top dollared it. Yeah, top dollared it. I'm the top dollar of the streaming world. Was it WCW that had a junkyard match winner to climb a fence? Remember that? They had a junkyard match winner that had to climb a fence. I don't remember that. This Christmas, hope you have fun. The near and dear ones, the old and the young. R.I.P. John Lennon. Best Christmas song ever, says Maggie. Preach Dude's hilarious. Spinning wheel to have the wrestling match WCW. I'm sad I might not be able to watch the stream tomorrow. I might have to watch it on Christmas morning. Yeah, I think you should. I think if you can't join us live tomorrow for the WrestleMania 18, then you should sacrifice opening your presents and spending time with your family just to watch a WrestleMania 18 watch along. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it should be good. We'll just, it's going to be chilled. It's going to be chilled. We'll talk about WrestleMania 18. We'll talk about we'll just talk about whatever. I mean, it's flipping Christmas Eve. Might even have a drink. Don't know. Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I really wanted to make sure we did something. I mean, yeah, I could have had the day off, but it's just not my style. Tomorrow is going to be my 4-year anniversary. When does the stream start? Starts, I can't remember. I think I've set it for 11 at night, which I think would be about 6. About 6. And probably be a couple of hours. But as we said, like, we'll just be chilled. I mean, it won't just be WrestleMania 18, although we'll just go with whatever the chat talks about, to be honest. I mean, we'll have it on. Of course, we'll talk about it, and we'll chuck in some facts about it and reminisce about it, but it's Christmas Eve. You know what I mean? I'm sure the conversation will go into a few different directions. Ricochet diving into Ludwig. Boom! Oh, look at that. He's absolutely walloping him with that candy cane kendo. Could Drew win a IC title as make good for Clash? Maybe. I don't know that it would make good, though. Sorry about you losing in the UK in the main event and not winning the WWE and Universal Championship. Here's the IC title. It doesn't feel quite the same level. Do you think wrestling is a dying art? It feels like there's a bubble. As the years go by, it's shrinking and falling out of the mainstream. No, I think it's all right. The problem you've got is that it's hard to gauge how popular it is because everyone uses everyone uses ratings as that gauge, and the ratings are in decline. So you can look at it and then make the argument that the interest in wrestling is in a decline. I don't know that that's true. If you look at how powerful their social media is and how big the WWE social media is, doesn't feel like wrestling's dying and people aren't interested. Not when WWE are about to hit 100 million subscribers on YouTube and have got some of the biggest accounts going, you know? I just think the way that we measure interest in wrestling is a bit old-fashioned with TV ratings. And so they've been on a decline because TV ratings are on a decline overall. So it's really hard to know, like, how popular wrestling is. The only thing we do know is that WWE are making record revenues. You know, the money they've got coming in is a lot. Saudi Arabia paid a lot of money to have them go over there. And I wouldn't say that wrestling was, like, dying. I think, though, wrestling's constantly moving forward, constantly evolving, constantly changing. And I think that, you know, there's some things you might look at which just, you know, wouldn't really be the thing, say, 10 years ago. Some of the kind of things that get done, some of the styles that you see now. But that's just wrestling. Wrestling's, you know, going in the direction it's going in. But I don't know that it's dying. Can I say I have had more adult time today than I can remember, said William. Woo! Oh, yeah. Well done. He just hit Strowman on the head with a chair. I thought that was banned. Street fight. Christmas tree falls onto Strowman. We got 7 minutes to go here. So, I mean, what I will say is that this is a pretty fun street fight as street fights go. There's a presence. There's a big... flip is this? The flip is this? There's a ballerina that's just come out of a present? Okay, so they've opened one present. A ballerina has come out. She's danced and she's exited. So now they're going to look at the other present. I'm guessing this ain't a ballerina. Oh, it's the New Day with their NXT tag titles. They're dressed as... This is random. It's so random. So now we've got the New Day that have come out. What the hell is this? Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Oh, hang on.
Oh, Merry Christmas.
I didn't mean to press the wrong one, but in all fairness. New Day rocks chants. What is on my TV screen? Braun charges over. Again, barging down Imperium. Running all the way around. He's telling the crowd, come on. Down goes, he's knocked him down both twice. Let's go! Is this Vince booking? I don't even think Vince would book this. This amazingly appears to have come from the mind of Triple H. What's he doing? Mistletoe. Is he going over to Samantha Irvin? What's he doing? Samantha. Oh, come on, kiss Ricochet. Yeah. Oh, look, Ricochet's. He's hulking up. Samantha, quick. Ricochet needs you. Do you know what? That'd so get over. That would so get over If there was a thing where he was like properly down, but she gave him a kiss and he'd be like, "Ah! Yeah!" That would so work. Go on, Samantha. Go on, girl. Oh. Tell you what, William Hensey's not the only one that's had a little bit of adult action today. Eh? We've all just had a little bit of that. She fired me up as well. Come on. That would work so well. That's 2023 sorted. Ricochet, low of energy. Done. Boom. Right back in the game. Ricochet on the shoulders of Braun. Big splash. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 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 We've had kisses and nuts being cracked. Beautiful. Oh, yes. Oh, get in there, girl. Get in there. Love it. This is sports entertainment. This is what WWE is all about. What the actual heck did I just spend 15 minutes watching? It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid. Ah. Love. That's what we've just seen. Love. Love just smacked us all in the face. I've seen it 4 times now. I saw it, saw the replay. I saw it, I saw the replay. I'm going to watch it again and again and again and again. I just can't get enough of it, guys. So, I don't even know how I make notes on that street fight, you know. I'm looking at this going, I just don't even know where to start. There was a ballerina. We had the New Day. There was smooching. Happy holidays. And the show comes to an end. Aww. 5-star matches. That's what should be in your notes. Main event was silly, festive fun. Merry smoochness. Yeah, well, in all fairness, that Samantha Irvin moment was a lot of fun. The ballerina thing was a bit strange, but like, okay, I can go with it. The only bit I was a bit like, ugh, was when New Day came out and Imperium seemed to think that they were toys or robots. They were like looking at the clothes and why they didn't just nail them, I have no idea. But they seemed to be like treating them as if they were robots or toys or something. I don't know. I don't know what that was. I don't know what was going on for that bit. But the Samantha Irvin bit was fun. They should do that every week. What's this? Something to do with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury fight. Right, let's put a score up. What did you score? WWE Smackdown. What did you score Smackdown? What did you score it? Riddick. Emma said Riddick. Unbelievable. It was worth it just for that moment. And I managed to go a whole week without any of that being spoiled other than the Bray stuff. Other than the Bray stuff, I promise you I didn't know a single result from that show. It's pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good. I don't mind, it's holidays. You know, the kids thought that was hilarious, said Jono. Yeah, but screw the kids. I ain't here for the kids. I'm here for my own interest, and that is it. Either I like it or it was rubbish. That's my approach to wrestling. Happy festives for us. 8.5. Maggie, shout out to you. George with a 5, Meave with a 10. Merry Christmas and have a happy tittle day. Oh, Leo, shout out to you. Merry Christmas. Screw the kids. Yeah, screw them all. 10, F it, it's Christmas, said Robs. They said F them kids. I'll say it every week throughout 2023 if the message isn't loud enough. Moolah gives it an 8, 7.32. Ricochet, mistletoe kisses out of 10. Poor Giovanni always gets busted open, said Serious Gaming. Krista said, my husband loved that match. Sunny Wolf said, I've sent you a message about the apartment I found, and I've sent you a link. You will see why I'm on the fence. Okay. Have a tittling great time, Maggie. Same to you. Grant said, I'm an adult. I thought it was hilarious. Jesse said, you just posted the video. Yes. Finally. That only took about half an hour. Right. We're at 140 votes. The AEW Rumble is nothing but spots, says Jono. Jim, shout out to you. Merry Christmas, Jim. I hope you have a great one, buds. Blake said, how can I watch Rampage in the UK? It'll be on Fight TV. Fight TV. That's the only way of watching it live. It might be on Watch Wrestling. I seriously don't know. Merry Christmas. Iania, shout out to you. Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great day. Don't forget, we are back tomorrow. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of this Merry Christmas in tomorrow during our WrestleMania 18 watch along. We're going to do that. It's a little treat, little Christmas Eve treat as we watch that pay-per-view. Retribution said, what are you getting for Christmas? Well, I don't know. I only know of a board game, little one-player board game thing. And I said earlier, I bought myself the James Bond DVD box set for £16 on Amazon. £16. £16. Probably cost you that in a cinema ticket to see one of the films once in a cinema. Whereas now the box set, 22 films, £16. Can't go wrong with that, can you? Can't go wrong with that. So that should be coming today. So my Christmas day is probably going to be me fapping around with a little one-player board game thing, having some chicken, having a beer, and watching James Bond. I mean, doesn't that just sound like a great Christmas? It does to me. It does to me. Right, let's end this poll. That is an amazing bargain. It is an amazing bargain, isn't it? It is. I mean, I'm not even the biggest James Bond fan, but I did see Skyfall on TV and I was really into it. I've seen it before, but I was like, I sat down, I had something to eat, it was on TV, and I ended up staying and watching the rest of it. So I was kind of like, oh, I enjoyed that. And so I was just looking at the box sets on Amazon, and that was the best price and the best one I could find. I quite fancied, like, if there was something else that was cheap, like if they had, say, The Sopranos for, I don't know, $19.99 or something, maybe I would have gone with that, because I've never seen The Sopranos, but it's always one I've wanted to see. So maybe I would have gone with that. But I should have a look, see how much that Sopranos box set is. But £16 for the Bond films. Amazing. Braden said, I've never watched James Bond. Do you mean the new movie? No. All the movies, all of them. 22. Well, I say all of them. It doesn't have the latest one, but I actually already have that. I actually bought that for myself last year. Every year I seem to have James Bond things. Last year I bought the latest Bond film, and this box set has got them all except for the latest one. Well, I already have that, so that's not a problem. But this box set is 22 James Bond films, like Goldfinger, GoldenEye, Diamonds Are Forever, Skyfall, Spectre, Casino Royale. You know the Bond films. It's got 22 of them in official, proper box set, just marked down for Christmas. Amazing. So, I got that on Amazon. And so, that's going to be my Christmas. Harif said, my dad loves James Bond. I still haven't seen the latest one. Same here. Yeah, same here. That's another one I need to get round to watching. So I don't know quite how I'm going to do it, But I will end up watching a few of those, I think, on Christmas Day. Or knowing me, I'll probably be in bed, sleep, wake up. I will have missed the whole day. Family will be round. I'll have something to eat. And before I know it, Christmas Day will have gone. That's probably more likely to happen, if I'm being honest. But hey ho. Right, I am going to go and do the review for the second channel, Wrestling Days Clips. Big thank you to everyone that joined us. Hope you enjoyed this episode. It was a taped one, so I don't know how much people will have tuned into this one. I think if the results are out there, it can be a bit... But I appreciate people joining us. I hope you all have a fantastic Christmas. We are back tomorrow if you want to swing by for that WrestleMania 18 watch-along. But if not, then just have a great time. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. Appreciate the support as always. And I will see you again next time.